Wow. Lucas stole out them pint bottles out Granny crib. I poured so much I ain't want to live. Told money then, shit we in the wind. I was in the hood when I clipped the bin. Since a young nigga I been ready. Went glass house on every Chevy. In this game I tried plenty settings. It's all or nothing how niggas been. Got sucker niggas, keep suckers with them. One of the reasons I ain't fucking with them. Trish taking some more than her. Guess she couldn't even afford a winner. I'm open late, don't need a scale. And it's always over, sneak wishing well. I double down, slick shit to spell. Shawty know I don't kiss and tell. I'm faded, 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 faded. 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 I sang, but I sin. I checked in the game to win. I left, she loving me again. I let her cry out the bins and they say time heal. Mine still felt like it was yesterday. I was moving fast, probably too fast to even catch the play. Spend some night, she pack a bag, right to me, just getting gas. Coming back, I want it bad. I'ma touch it first, eat it last, it's temporary. Holly damn emotion said it's temporary. My pain deeper than the ocean. Temporary feelings mixed with temporary pleasures. All these temporary moments and these temporary treasures. Temporary circumstances to temporary measures. Temporary friends and even temporary schedules. Temporary smiles and temporary goals. Temporary women sliding on temporary poles. Temporary comments and temporary trolls. I just pray that God bless me. Ain't no temporary souls. I'm a saint, but I sin. I checked in the game to win. I left, she loving me again. I let her cry out the bins and they say time heal. Mine still felt like it was yesterday. I was moving fast, probably too fast to even catch the play. Spend some night, she pack a bag, right to me, just getting gas. Coming back, I want it bad. I'ma touch it first, eat it last, it's temporary. Holly damn emotion said it's temporary. My pain deeper than the ocean. Alright, chat, y'all ready? Oh, man! Double tap the screen, shut alive out. What we doing tonight, chat? Double tap the screen, shut alive out. What we doing tonight, chat? We got an action-packed episode, man. Trump canceled on Putin. Is this good for Ukraine? What's next? And are the Democrats wrong for the shutdown? Double tap the screen, shut alive out. I don't care if you far left, far right, liberal, conservative, Marxist, fascist, alien, NPC. Get your ass in. We finna have them conversations tonight. So call your auntie, uncle, and your cousin. Tell them plug live, and he running his mouth. What we got going on, man? What we got going on? We got an action-packed episode. We got some miscellaneous clips about the government shutdown and the food stamps. We got a major crash in Ontario, Canada by a driver that Gavin Newsom gave one of those IDs to. Gave one of those CDLs to these drivers. He straight up just ran through 3 cars and hit another diesel, unalived 3 people. It's crazy. It's bad. Also, we got Trump holding a meeting with the NATO secretary after he canceled on Putin, man. He canceled on Vladimir Putin. Also, we got we're going to cover the Israel, Hamas, you know, the peace in the Middle East, not so much, not any longer, man. What else we got? We got Nick Shirley over there with the ice rage, you know what I'm saying? New York City did break down the ice rage. I know a lot of y'all saying Nick Shirley is the police, so we finna get into it, man. Is Nick Shirley the police, man? It's crazy. What else do we got, man? That's about it right now, chat. That's about it right now. Double tap the screen, shut a live out, call your auntie, uncle, and your cousin, tell them plug live, and he running his mouth. Y'all ready, chat? Lala, you got them plain legs ready? Art of War, what it do? You in here? We in intro mode, baby.
My word, I guarantee that I'm next. I got the arms of a bodybuilder from the way that I flex. Might just hit the strip just to go blow me a check. They know what the fuck I'm on. They say that they got some of the best gas, they call it Southern Joy. Chain on chain and ice on ice like Adam Sandler, I'm water boy. I know I'm all in the head. Bad bitch laying in my bed. Wait till I give her a spread. I'm a master with the head. Don't let these social fool you, these niggas broke. I know that they ain't bought it. Ain't got no car but talking shit. Okay, then little walkie talkie. I told that bitch to come home. I ain't got time for no bitch that's healing. Puff the blood, she called me daddy. And I'm screaming out no dick. I'ma make sure that she come. I'ma fuck her good with my tongue. I know the night is still young. So baby, let's get it in. I know just how she like it tonight. She spicy, she added a friend. They ain't identical, but they fuck alike. So in the bed, I call them twin. I call them twin. Bed, I call them twin. Bitch, and shoot a shoot. 1 + 1 = 2. What you tryna do? Go back for back, check a swoop, swoop. Either way it go, I'm on. Either way it go, I'm gone. Brody them just got like 100 on me, they tryna get them gone. What you call it, Jet Wet? What's the name? And he put it in his song. Brody them got the purest powder, it's pink, you know this shit is strong. No diddy. I'm the type of nigga that turn my bitch up in each city. Brody cut out, we celebrating, we hit the gritty. I feel like a baby, I'm tryna get that milk up out them titties. It's no question who young and the latest. If you want your bitch, then when she talking, hear her. If I want the bitch, I'm going Pittsburgh. Still her. I keep some on the side, I don't have trust in just the main bitch. Suck me up while I'm driving like damn, I'll die by this lane switch. Shit, different type of free, so we ain't never got a tussle. Throw it back like Miss London, the sum of your life be hustle. Yeah.
Oh man, double tap the screen, shut alive out. What we doing tonight, chat? Double tap the screen, shut alive out. What we doing tonight, chat, man? We got an action-packed episode. We do got an action-packed episode. We got quite a few things to cover tonight. I don't know why I'm lagging. Am I lagging, chat? Press 1 if I'm lagging, man. Press 2 if I'm not lagging. Well, we got a clip right here, man. I already seen this clip. This person right here works at a nursing home. Said that she fixed a guy dinner at the nursing home and came back the next day and that same patient was hungry. He hadn't eaten because he can't feed himself, and whoever worked the night shift did not feed him. Just let that man sit there hungry. So this person broke down crying, said that they not a snitch, but they had to report it, man. So we gonna cover this, man. Go check on your people, man. We can't keep putting our elderly and our sick and shut-ins into these homes and not checking on them, not calling, not going to see them, anything, man. This is crazy, man. This really touched me right here. No diddy.
I probably shouldn't be putting this on the internet, Slime. But I work in a nursing home. Gang, so this old man was like he was hungry. And I was just asking him, like, why is your food still sitting here from last night? I was here last night. I remember making your salad. Gang, he said they're not even feeding him, gang. Like, why do y'all get jobs like this and not healthy people, bro? So he said he asking me to feed him, and I'm telling him I can't. I just can't get the dishes.
I don't know why. Yeah, Carlos, fuck that, man. Like, forget that, man. You got to be a humanitarian. If you want to take a job is not like some of these jobs aren't for everybody, man. You got to be a humanitarian. If you can hold hatred to somebody and not feed them, or just lack of caring enough not to feed them, like, you need to watch out. Go get a different damn job. Straight up, man. Straight up. Sunset, what it do? Good to see you back, Sunset. Yeah, kids and elderly need to be protected. This guy physically could not feed himself, man. And they let that man sit up in there a whole 24 hours hungry, man. A whole night shift hungry, man. Then this person comes back and says that I'm just here to get the dishes. I can't feed you. So I don't know if it was because the food had been sitting out all night and she just couldn't feed them or whatever, but she like came to get the dishes and the food still is there. You know what I'm saying? So I'm sure that this person went and reported it and they got the man fed, but shit, how long is this? How long is he be hungry? You know what I'm saying? They work 12-hour shifts sometimes. You know, she probably left at 8 o'clock, fed him dinner at 8 o'clock, you know what I'm saying? So shit like that and shit, he never left. 7 o'clock, 6 o'clock, never got fed. It's over with. Hungry. Have y'all ever tried to sleep just hungry, all the way hungry, trying to sleep? Crazy.
But I ain't never been a trick, gang, but I had to report her. Bro. Because this man is hungry and he can't feed himself. And you won't feed him, bro. This is not the job for you, bro. If you work in healthcare and you ain't caring, Gang, I probably shouldn't.
Straight up, chat. Double tap the screen. Shut the live out. We got to get the likes up in here. Shut the live out.
On the internet slime. But I work in a nursing home. Gang, so this old man was like he was hungry. And I was just asking him, like, why is your food still sitting here from last night? I was here last night. I remember making your salad. Gang, he said they're not even feeding him, gang. Like, why do y'all get jobs like this and not healthy people, bro? So he said he asking me to feed him, and I'm telling him I can't. I just can't get the dishes. You feel me? But I ain't never been a trick, gang, but I had to report her. Bro. Because this man is hungry, and he can't feed himself. And you won't feed him, bro. This is not the job for you, bro. If you work in healthcare and you ain't caring,
I can't believe that, man. I can't believe it because it happens more often than we think. It happens more often than we think. Some of these people in the nursing home, they have attitudes. They sick of being in there. They might have dementia, might not know where they at. They might just be tired of that shit. And they get attitudes, and these caretakers get attitudes back to the point to where they mistreat these people. Not changing them, not turning them over, bed sores, not washing them properly, and not feeding them. Check on your people, man. Check on your people, especially if they sick and shut in or they in the homes, man. Check on your people, please. All right, man. This is in Ontario, Canada. They say this driver is one of Gavin Newsom's hires. One of Gavin Newsom's, not like he gave it to him directly, but it's a California CDL. It's a California CDL driver in Ontario, Canada. He doesn't even hit the brakes, man. They say this guy's an Indian immigrant that also had a deportation order, I believe, in, let me see where his deportation order was, man. Let me see. He got a CDL in California. Okay, his name is Jasonpreet Singh. He was a DUI. They say he was drunk driving. He's an Indian illegal alien who was caught and released at the California border by the Biden administration in March 2022. ICE is placing a detainer on him with the San Bernardino County Sheriff's Department, where he's in custody of suspicion of a DUI causing great bodily injury and gross vehicular manslaughter while intoxicated. He has not been formally charged. He was speeding and under the influence, never hitting his brakes when he crashed into slow-moving traffic on the freeway, causing a devastating and deadly chain reaction that unalived 3 people. Victims have not been identified yet. So here goes the crash, chat. This is the crash.
Which is now the subject of several law enforcement investigations. It shows the moment a red semi-truck plowed into a number of vehicles on the westbound 10 freeway in Ontario just after 1 p.m. yesterday. CHP told the LA Times the driver of this big rig is a 21-year-old man who is now under arrest on suspicion of driving under the influence of drugs. A total of 4 semis were involved and also 4 passenger vehicles, one of them exploding in flames. 3 people were killed and 4 others were taken to local hospitals. This horrific crash happened just east of the 15 freeway and shut down all westbound lanes for more than 12 hours. Thousands of drivers were trapped in the gridlock just as the evening commute was getting underway. It's also near exclusive.
Wow, look at this, chat. I mean, it's hard to watch, but gosh.
Camera video, which is now the subject.
Gosh, that is crazy. I'm finna show y'all the aftermath from a different angle. Like, wow, that's crazy word. He was drunk, and he was an illegal Indian, and he was speeding, and he didn't hit the brakes at all, and he already had got turned around at the border or caught and released at the border. That is crazy, bro. I'm not gonna lie, that's not looking good, man. That's not looking good at all. This the aftermath, chat. Look at this. Look at the truck. That's the truck he was driving. He didn't pass away. That's what I'm saying. They got him in custody, so he didn't pass away. And they didn't even say he was at the hospital. They didn't even say this man was at the hospital, Chad. They didn't even say he was at the hospital. So shit, he might have got put straight in the police car. Look at, push that car all the way up under there. You can't even tell what that car was right there, Chad. You can't even tell what kind of car that was right there. I don't know if that was an SUV, a sedan. I just can tell it's probably not a truck. I don't know if that was an SUV or a sedan, what make or model that was, Chad. They took the whole, I can't even say front end. They took 90% of the car off. That's like 10% car right there, bro. Okay, it's the back wheel. It's like 20% car right there, man. Everything else is gone. Everything else is gone. That's like 20% of a car right there, bro. Then this diesel was parked on the side of the road getting worked on. You might well scrap that. Ain't no more working on that bad boy. It was getting worked on, so yeah, yeah. Whoever hired this dude is in trouble, bro. Whoever hired this dude is probably in trouble. I'm not gonna lie. Whoever hired this dude is probably in trouble, bro. I'm not gonna lie. A Prius, if that was a Prius, it didn't even stand a chance. Y'all said that was a Prius? Man, ain't no way that was a Prius. It would have been flat like a Pop-Tart if it was a Prius. Golly, man. How much do y'all think the insurance company gonna be liable for, man? We got another crazy story right here. We got this one on the flip side of that. I know we just had an illegal immigrant driver, man, that just unalived 3 people. An Indian guy. That's crazy. Y'all want to see his picture? Here goes his picture right here. I'll show y'all what he look like. That's crazy. They probably picked the worst possible picture of him too to put up here. That's crazy. His mugshot haven't came out, but they probably picked the worst possible picture of the dude. I'm not gonna lie, that's crazy. That's how they do you when you get ready to go to jail, though. They do pick the worst possible picture of you. This is him. This is the guy that was drunk driving. This is the guy that was drunk driving, man, and caused that accident, man. They got him in custody right now. He was 21 years old. 21 years old, drunk driving. That's crazy, man. Prayers to those families, man. Prayers to those families. And we wish the other victims a speedy recovery.
Everyday rates, you can save up to 20%.
Alright, chat, let us get it to the ad-free version, man.
In case an ICE agent who fired shots into the Brighton Park neighborhood this month drove his work SUV back to Maine.
A judge now demanding his return to Chicago. Tia Ewing is at the Dirksen Courthouse with more.
A stunning twist came out in court. The SUV that's at the center of this investigation was driven over 1,100 miles away, all the way to the state of Maine. And now the big question is, did Miramar Martinez and Anthony Ian Santos Ruiz ram into ICE agents, or were they merely alerting the public that ICE was coming on October 4th?
Talking to the agents over here, that individual was the lone driver of that vehicle and was part of a caravan that were trying to interrupt ICE operations at the time of the shooting.
That silver SUV is the same one involved in the crash and shooting that left Miramar Martinez, a U.S. citizen, shot 5 times, and the driver, the ICE agent who allegedly pulled the trigger. In court today, the government confirmed the agent's assignment ended in Chicago, and he drove the vehicle back to the state of Maine. The judge was visibly frustrated and issued a direct order saying this, quote, "I am directing you to tell the agent to be brought back to Chicago as soon as possible." Martinez's lawyer says the SUV is critical evidence. He wants it inspected, and he's demanding all communications, repairs, and even car washes be preserved immediately.
913, the weapon is still in the purse. The vehicle does have what appears to be first damage on the passenger side, as if it was side struck with another vehicle.
Also being questioned, ICE claimed agents were boxed in, and Martinez in the dark gray Nissan was armed. But police radio and body cam footage that only the attorneys have seen reportedly shows something different. Even the press release that was put out to the media detailed some different information. We did learn that Martinez's gun never left her purse. These photos show her SUV was hit on the passenger side. And the other man involved in the crash, Anthony Ian Santos Ruiz, his black SUV was damaged in the front, and the ICE vehicle only minor damage. Even more troubling, Homeland Security told media the encounter happened in Broadview. The new records show Martinez was in Brighton Park, alerting residents to ICE patrols. This case is raising big questions about use of force, federal accountability, and now possible evidence mishandling. A trial date could be set as early as Monday. This is a case that we will be following every step of the way. From the Dirksen Federal Building, Tia Ewing, Fox 32 Chicago.
That's crazy. It's always some pencil whipping going. It's good cops, bad cops, man. It's always some damn pencil whipping going on, though. Damn. Done shot dude and took off the main, man. Took off the main. They done ordered them back to Chicago, talking about preserve the car washes and shit, man. That shit is gone, man. That shit is gone, Judge, dude. You're a dear cook, man. They finna send his ass to jail, though. I got a feeling they finna send his ass to jail. They talking about he was lying, saying he was over there, was really over there, ended up shooting somebody, then went back home. Thank you, Najee. Then went back home. Crazy work. Ain't no way. Chat, let's get the likes up, man. Let's get the likes up, chat. Crazy. Press 1 if y'all think that police going to jail, man. Press 2 if you do not think he going to jail. Let's see what Nick Shirley got going on, chat. Oh, this in New York. This Nick Shirley in New York.
They're fat fucking Nazis. They're abducting people from their homes and their schools and their jobs.
Here in New York City, an ICE raid or an HSI raid just took place here in New York City on Canal Street. These streets are typically filled with counterfeit scammers. However, ICE or the HSI just came through here and raided and took some of the people away. And just a few days ago, a popular citizen journalist by the name of Savannah Hernandez came through here, showed what's been happening. I myself have even documented this once, as I was once attacked and my cameraman was punched by one of these illegal migrants that was selling goods illegally. And I just caught a phone call from somebody and said, you need to go run over to Canal in Chinatown to see what is taking place. And this is the aftermath of this ICE raid. A raid just took place here in Canal Street in New York City. They came in, you got HSI, looks like you might have ICE out here, and they have taken somebody. It looks like we got a whole group of protesters that just appeared out of nowhere. We have people hitting cars. We got this lady hitting cars. There we go. What the? They just raided Canal Street. Now you have a whole mob of people taking over the street. You have federal agents right here, HSI. There's a whole lot of illegal activity that takes place on Canal Street. So now everyone's pissed off. Now these federal agents are just walking down the street all by themselves. There's no car or anything. What do you think about what's going on here?
Dude, they're getting mobbed. There was just probably 50 to 100 people that surrounded the cars and were banging on it. It's getting chaos. The agents are freaking out and pushing people out of the way. They're trying to...
There's no car. There's no cop cars here. There's no federal cars.
Y'all think since Nick Shirley got the... Well, I ain't gonna say it was his fault, but since Nick Shirley did tell the police, he went to the police, was like, yeah, they over there, you know what I'm saying, selling bags, and y'all don't do nothing.
And then that one time we just seen him, where was he at? Chicago. And the dude jumped out running on foot when the ICE jumped out on him. And he was like, yeah, there he goes running that way. But he didn't yell it out. But I'm wondering how the rappers finna feel, like the gangsters, when he be going to the hood. You know, Nick Shirley came up going to the hoods, you know, like being in the most dangerous gangs, hoods and shit. I wonder how they watching this shit and feeling. Like, I wonder, are they feeling like, damn, Nick Shirley might have told on me. I don't know.
Everyone's going fucking haywire.
Look at him. Look. I can't even believe what I'm seeing right now. The feds are literally all on their own right now. What do you think about what's going on here in Canal Street? New York City, what do you think about this? How do you feel about ICE coming in? Feds coming in?
Oh, how do I feel about ICE? I actually, I'm gonna tell y'all the story, man. I met this woman. She worked for ICE actually, and her wife had a big project going, so I did some freelance work for them, marketing consulting. I told them they should, basically how they should commission, you know, a mural for whatever the youth center that they're building. They should commission a mural and all of that. And honestly, she was a regular person. She was a regular person. It wasn't like she was like, she told me straight up, like, look, man, I'm just doing my job. Like, I ain't got my, you know, like, I leave my feelings at the door. You know what I'm saying? Like, I'm just doing a job, you know. I don't want to, like, I don't got no hatred towards anybody, but shit, I show up to work every day and do my job. And I didn't have a problem with that. I mean, people take fucked up jobs. It's kind of like, how are you mad at ICE, but you not mad at a defense lawyer? You know what I'm saying? That represents somebody that unalived the kid. You know what I'm saying? Nobody's out here protesting at these defense lawyers that's representing people that unalive kids or grape kids, and nobody's mad at the defense lawyer. They look at the defense lawyer like it's just their job, but they don't look at ICE like it's just their job. I guess because some people abuse authority. Now ICE, some people in ICE are abusing authority, but not all of them are wearing masks. So how I feel about ICE is, I feel like, in a nutshell, most of those people are just showing up to do their job. But there are bad actors. There are very bad actors. There are bad police officers. There are bad ICE agents. There are bad teachers. There are bad judges. There are bad probation officers. There's bad in every industry. But in a nutshell, I think a lot of these people are just showing up to get a paycheck, dude.
Any response? I'm down here no more. Keep yelling at the feds. Got some for you. I don't think so. You got this lady yelling at this man, and there's no Fed cars to be seen.
You said everyone is entitled to a fair defense, though it's the law, but a lot of lawyers turn down cases. There are lawyers that have morals. So what do we do? There are a lot of lawyers that say, I'm not touching this case. I will not defend him. I will not touch this case. Client calls in, the lawyer might have a $50,000 retainer and still turn that case down because it goes against his morals. It happens all the time. Yes, you are entitled to a fair defense, though it's law, but it's a lot of lawyers that they're not doing this shit because the state's requiring them to keep their license. They're doing this shit for the paper.
What raise do you guys do? Okay. You literally have all of these protesters now. They're getting surrounded, and there's no federal vehicles anywhere right now. We're right here outside the federal court. Now everyone's chanting, shame, shame.
Show your face! Come on, what are you scared about? What the fuck are you scared about?
Now we do have one vehicle. They have.
I do think they shouldn't have masks on, though. If it's not a COVID mask, they shouldn't have shiesties on. I'm just going to keep it real. They shouldn't have shiesties on, in my opinion. COVID mask, if you want to do that, all right, man, fuck it, dude. That's your excuse to wear a mask. Wear a COVID mask. I get it. They're saying they're getting docs, follow home, and all of that, but that's part of the job, man. You took a $50,000 bonus, man. That's part of the job, man. Police officers not doing it. Police officers get targeted too. It's part of the job. We just seen the United Healthcare worker get gunned down. We seen the people at the damn NFL office get gunned down. Like shit, it's part of the job. When you making hard decisions, it's part of the job. I don't feel like they should have masks on. It's kind of what you signed up for.
They got the guns, they got the snipers, rifles. Looks like they have one vehicle. That's a pepper gun right here.
You said neither should Antifa. I feel like shit, it is what it is with the citizens. These people are working, you know, on the behalf of government. Like when it's a citizen, I mean shit. There are places that ban shiesty masks. There are places you cannot go with a shiesty mask on. I know some stores right now back home that if you try to walk in there with a shiesty, they're gonna turn your ass around. So I guess that's the difference between being public and private. These are I guess you'll call them public officials. They work for the government. You know what I'm saying? I don't feel like they should be able to have masks on. You know, it kind of is what it is. That's my opinion.
Guys are trying to move down the street. Yeah, people trying to block off the streets.
Yeah, being unmasked does put them in danger, but being masked also intensifies the aggression. A lot of these interactions that we see, these people probably wouldn't be acting this kind of way if they was unmasked. Let's just be real. We just seen a clip of an ICE agent that lied about where he was at, shot somebody, and then left the state. You know what I'm saying? Like like I said, there's good, bad, and ugly in all things. The guy just lied about where he was at, shot somebody, and left the state. You know what I'm saying? Like that's crazy to me. This is Nick Shirley's video. What did y'all say? Oh, what does it do but put the agents in danger? They need badges, which they have. Yeah, but we gotta understand too that a lot of people take positions, you know what I'm saying, and shit, this their time to be tough. This their time to, you know, do service or whatever and shit. They get ego, you know what I'm saying? You get a $50,000 bonus once that 50 ball kick in. You got your mask on, you feeling tough. Like a lot of people don't talk tough outside of life. Like I've been incarcerated before. I've been in jail, and when I was in jail, I had this one guy. This is just a little story time. Officer. He was actually a sheriff. He had came from the penitentiary and came to the county and was working at the county. And he was just, you know, one of those guys that was just extra, trying to just be extra tough. And I just pulled him to the side one day and was like, bro, you know we not cattle, right? Like, you know, some of us got lives outside of here. Like, I'm worth something outside of here, bro. Like, everybody in here is not just fucked up or, you know what I'm saying? Like, some people just in here, dude. And once I had that convo with him, like he toned all the way down. He was like, damn, you right, you know, and he just spoke to me about how the job comes with ego. You know what I'm saying? You ranking up, you getting promotions and stuff. We can't act like these aren't human beings. Ego comes with everything. I check my ego on this channel a lot. You know what I'm saying? Like I come in here and hang out and shit. A lot of other creators, man, they don't check their egos, you know, and it happens. So I just don't understand. I don't see how y'all don't understand that some of these people, not all of them, but some of them have unchecked egos, and the mask adds to that unchecked ego. So you get situations. It goes both ways.
just absolute madness.
Support your local ice raid.
What makes you so passionate about this right now?
Get the fuck out of my face!
Why?
Bruh, she said get the fuck out of my face. Nick Shirley said why. Dude, are you serious, Nick Shirley? Nah, I fuck with Nick Shirley content, bro. Y'all double tap the screen and share the live out. We are 25 subscribers away from the next sub goal. Dude, I need 25 subscribers. But did she just tell Nick Shirley to get the F out of her face? And he said, why? Nick Shirley, are you serious, bro? Are you serious, Nick? Why is crazy work, Nick? I'm not gonna lie. Why is crazy?
They're fat fucking Nazis. They're abducting people from their homes and their schools and their jobs, and they know what they're doing is wrong, and they don't give a shit because they're heartless monsters.
The people are upset. Look at it. You have feds coming through here. They got rifles. Yes, sir. I got you. They have pepper ball guns right here as well. Now they're trying to go inside of the federal court building. Right there is the federal court building.
Get the fuck out of my face. Why? Listen, bro. I'm not gonna lie, bro. That was some of the funniest shit, bro. I don't know if it's like just good content or if Nick Shirley's just like, fuck it, like why? Like, dude, nobody wants you in their fucking face right now, bro. Like, that's like waking somebody up with a damn flashlight and they like get the light out my face and you like, why? Dude, you gotta fucking, I don't want it there, bro. Like, what?
Wow. This lady just pushed the wrist. Yes, sir. Oh. Now they have just arrested the girl who I was just barely interviewing. She's underneath arrest right now.
Thank you, Big Niche.
Who's here? Streets of New York City. Wow. Yes, sir. Now people are chanting ICE out of New York. How do you feel about these ICE raids taking place here in New York City?
They can go fuck themselves. I am a grandchild and the daughter of an immigrant. I don't give a fuck. They would take me away if they could. Fuck them.
Are you legal here?
Yeah, man.
Then why do you have to worry?
Are you legal here? Hey, listen. Yeah, man. Hey, if she would have said no, hey, boy, Nick Shirley would have went like this. Oh my God, bro. Nick Shirley is really boots on the ground out here, bro. Like, see, chat, when I try to put the mic in people's face, they be a little weird. I think it's, you know what I mean, y'all, I think we know why. But listen, if I go to something that's turned up like that with high emotions, they'll probably talk to me, man. Maybe I'm just in the wrong spots. But if she would have said, yeah, I'm an illegal immigrant, bro, the internet would have had the ICE agents at her door tomorrow, bro. Nick Shirley's probably finna do millions of views on this video across platforms. They would have been at her door on tomorrow, Thursday morning, 8 a.m. They would have been at her damn door had she said the wrong shit.
Me, I'm not worried about me at all. I'm worried about all my brothers and sisters here who are trying to be legal, who are trying to do their jobs, who are trying to work for a better life. This is not fucking okay.
Now you have NYPD right here defending the federal building. The feds just went in. Now NYPD has stepped up. All the feds are inside. Now they've all entered into the federal building. Now you have all the protesters right here, and NYPD is right here.
You could tell that boy Nick Shirley been grinding. It looked like he ain't got no sleep. Double tap the screen, shut a live out. We are 25 subscribers away from the next sub goal. We go live every single day over here talking current events, politics, and entertainment. We got Trump sitting down with NATO's leader after this.
I seen you yelling at the feds. How do you feel about this?
Man, what? Come on, man. We on their ass. Sorry about my language.
Yeah, what do you mean by you're on their ass?
We can, bro. This the wrong place for that. We're just the wrong place for that.
Short ass motherfucker. Short ass motherfucker. You're ugly as shit too.
This guy yelling right at the police. Everyone's yelling shame.
Bro, that's right. Don't look at me anymore.
It's no way this guy is yelling like this in the police face with a finger pointing behind him. It's no way, bruh. Chat, I don't think they would have let me do some shit like this, bro. I'm just gonna step out on a limb and say that it probably wouldn't have went this way if it was me out there.
We can, bro. This the wrong place for that. We're just the wrong place for that.
Short ass motherfucker. Short ass motherfucker. You're ugly as shit too.
This guy yelling right at the police. Everyone's yelling shame.
Bro, that's right. Don't look at me anymore.
Now we got these protesters going after lunatic liberals. I'm sorry, you're calling these people lunatic liberals, don't you?
Yeah, lunatic liberals here. I mean, look at these people. They don't even know what they're arguing for. It's really a shame. Most people aren't educated. Most people don't know how law enforcement functions work in this country. You know, it's a dear shame. If half these people knew what, you know, our laws are of this country and how law enforcement acts and how they're going about this, they wouldn't be this mad. I think it's an education problem.
Right now we have 4 protesters. 3 of them have masks on. They're just yelling at the police.
Yeah, it's unexplainable to me. I don't understand it. You know,
do you think this is a left and right issue, or do you think it's just a law and order issue?
I think it's a law and order issue. I think people don't respect the laws of this country, and this is the outcome of that. It's unfortunate. You know, we should support our law enforcement and everything they do for us on a daily basis. Yeah.
Ugly as fuck too.
Why do you call him a bootlicker?
Because you give a way more of a fuck about the cops than you give about the people. Fuck you, bro.
See, my point proven. Uneducated, they're just angry. It's pure emotion, zero logic from here. They don't know what they're arguing about. They have no idea.
And what are you guys arguing about with the police officers right now?
Bro, if the cops were here, I would beat your ass right now.
Really?
He know who Nick Shirley is. He definitely knows who Nick Shirley is. Dude, if the cops weren't here, I'd beat your ass right now, Nick Shirley. Really? You see I hit him? Really? Bruh, Nick Shirley got some dry ass humor, bruh. Like, it's no way he out here playing in these people's face like that, bruh. Oh my God, bruh. It's no way, bruh.
See, that's a crime. See, that you know, if I was you'd be arrested, you know, but it's okay. I mean, that's, you know, it is what it is.
How do you feel about the feds coming through here in New York City today?
It's a little overwhelming. As you can see, people are not excited about this, you know what I'm saying?
Do you think they should deport people, especially on Canal Street where they are selling counterfeit goods illegally on the streets?
Bro, you know I got no comment on that. I can't comment on that, you know what I'm saying? People got to make a living somehow. I don't know. I will say this. America was built on immigrants' backs.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? I will say that. You know what
I think the raid took place today on Canal Street. There's some viral videos that took place there just a few days ago, and then it's been known that that's a place where they do sell counterfeit goods, and it seems like the majority are from Africa, and they are undocumented illegal migrants.
Are those the ones that they locked up?
Yeah, that's who they arrested today.
Oh, man, yeah. I hate to see anybody go to jail, but, you know.
And who were the people that went to jail? Well, one of the guys was actually a person who had been featured on this channel before, and he attacked me and my cameraman as we asked him what he was selling, as he was selling stuff illegally on the streets of Canal Street.
Yo, what's up? We don't do no fucking camera. Fuck the fucking camera.
Hey.
Fucking pushing.
Hey.
Get the fuck out of here with that shit.
He and his gang then jumped us, and one of the men even punched my cameraman.
Hey, I will smash this bitch. Hey.
And now that man is arrested, and he most likely will be deported back to his home country. What's your take on the raids going through here today?
I don't know, honestly. They doing too much, respectfully. Everybody trying to make $1. I understand it might be illegal or whatever, but at the...
He said they doing too much, chat. Press 1 if they doing too much. Press 2 if they are not doing too much. Double tap the screen, shut a live out. We are 25 subscribers away from the next sub goal. Let's hit that next sub goal, chat.
Trying to make a living. And y'all coming out of nowhere.
This is one of the first ICE raids that's taking place here, HSI raid, whatever you want to call it. How do you feel about them coming into the city, the feds?
Oh no, it's terrifying. It's horrible and terrifying, honestly.
And what terrifies you as a white American citizen here?
It's for my other New Yorkers. Like, we gotta worry about everyone in the city, and this is a city of immigrants, and they belong here just as much as I do, if not more, honestly.
This is why we're fucked up. This is why we mad.
I can see you're upset about what's going on.
Very upset. I went to all these fucking protests, man. I've done so much shit just to stop this, and they sit here and guard them. That is why I'm mad. I'm not trying to say, fuck that guy in particular. That's not what I'm trying to do. I'm trying to say we gotta end this shit now. This shit is gonna keep rolling. This is a fucking snowball, and it's gonna keep getting bigger. When do you stop? When do you say no?
Yeah, so you're talking to NYPD right now. So
I'm talking to NYPD.
Telling them when they stop protecting the feds?
Yes. When do they stop protecting Border Patrol? When do they stop protecting ICE? These people are snatching legal citizens. We've seen this happen. This is not a precedent that has not been set. We keep seeing these rights get fucking vanished. These are just wiped clean. Does it matter to you guys? Do you guys give a fuck about anything? We don't want to be here to piss you as an individual off. We are here to show you that this is not right. This is why you're facing resistance.
Does it concern you just because you are born and raised New Yorker and you're worried
No,
about?
I'm from LA.
Okay, from LA.
I'm Mexican, and I hate that my people are just being taken, legal or not. Yeah. I'm a firm believer that no human is illegal. It's just humanity. Nobody deserves to be snatched up by somebody in a mask and taken to God knows where. That's not right.
Specifically the things that took place on Canal Street, where they do sell counterfeit goods illegally on the streets. They don't pay taxes. Do you think they should go after people that do that?
They should be prosecuted in our federal state court, not in ICE facilities, not deported. You want justice and order, do it through legal processes in America.
Yeah,
is that
so
fair?
If they arrest them and they go through the legal process, do you support that?
I mean, I'll fight that too, but it's less despicable than what these guys are doing, all these fucking cops.
Crazy, man. Nick Shirley out there, boots on the ground, chat. Nick Shirley was out there, boots on the ground, man. That is wild, man. We finna move on over to Trump sat down with NATO's leader, man. We finna watch Trump sit down with NATO leader. They said he canceled the meeting with Putin. He canceled the meeting with Putin that was scheduled in Hungary, man. Belfast. I believe that's where it was. Let me go get something to drink, chat.
Hello, everybody. Hi, everybody. Well, thank you very much. It's an honor to have a friend of mine, a very good friend of mine. We've become friends, actually, through the trials and tribulations of everything. Mark Rutte, Secretary General of NATO, highly respected. Almost every country in Europe. I think you can almost take away the almost pretty soon. But they all have great respect for the leader, and he is the leader. And we've had some very good discussions today, and things are going along pretty well as regarding Ukraine, Russia. We thought it would be a little bit easier. That's turned out to be tougher than the Middle East. The Middle East was supposed to be the tough one, and we've solved that puzzle, but this one will get solved also. So I want to just say it's an honor to have you, Mark. Thank you very much.
Thank you so much for hosting again. And we were texting, I think it was on the day when you were in Israel and in Egypt, this tremendous success you had under your leadership, bringing peace to the Middle East. And then we texted each other and said, and the next big thing has to be Ukraine, Russia. And I want to help, NATO wants to help, my colleagues want to help to basically deliver on your vision of peace in Ukraine. And I really want to thank you for everything you're doing, including breaking the deadlock with Putin, starting the dialogue in February when you came in as president in January, but also for everything you did with NATO, the fact that we are now at this 5%, the huge success in The Hague at the NATO summit, the fact that Europeans are also stepping up when it comes to Ukraine, basically the weapons from the US being delivered to Ukraine, paid for by allies, and Europeans coming together to discuss how can we sustain Ukraine post the peace deal. All of this is evidence of your leadership of pushing the Europeans and the Canadians to do more, to deliver, and to equalize in spending with the US. So on all of this, and today we will talk more on how we can really bring Ukraine to the next phase and get this terrible war, and all the bloodshed ended.
And as you know, we are going to be making a big trip next week. Some of you are going with us. We're going to Malaysia, South Korea, and Japan. In South Korea, I'll be meeting with President Xi of China. We'll have a pretty long meeting scheduled. We can work out a lot of our questions and our doubts and our tremendous assets together. So we look forward to that. I think something will work out. We have a very good relationship, but that'll be a big one. We canceled the meeting with President Putin. It didn't feel right to me. It didn't feel like we were going to get to the place we have to get, so I canceled it. But we'll do it in the future. But next week we'll be with many of you in those locations that I told you. Then it's back to Washington. So thank you very much, everybody. Yeah, please.
Mr. President, can you tell us a little bit about why you're elevating sanctions against Russia right now?
I just felt it was time. We've waited a long time. I thought that we'd go long before the Middle East. And Mark, as you know, we did the Middle East plus 7. So we did 7 different wars from Pakistan and India to so many.
Azerbaijan, Armenia.
Which they said was impossible to do. All these wars I did, and the one that we have left, we have 1 left. It'll be 9. We have 1 left, and I think we'll get that done too. I think we're on our way to getting it done.
We have to.
Please.
Mr. President, do you have a timeline for when you think this war is going to be over because of your leadership?
No, I don't have a timeline. You can't have in war. It's hard to have a timeline. You know, so many things happen in war. Go ahead.
What about Tomahawk missiles? Putin is definitely
Well,
afraid.
the problem with the Tomahawk that a lot of people don't know, it'll take a minimum of 6 months, usually a year, to learn how to use them. They're highly complex. So the only way a Tomahawk is going to be shot is if we shot it, and we're not going to do that. But there is a...
Damn, just told Zelensky no to the Tomahawks, man. I thought they had a deal for the Tomahawks for the drones, man. Told Zelensky no on the Tomahawks. Double tap the screen, chat. Let's get to 100 likes right quick. Double tap the screen, shut a live out, chat.
learning curve with the Tomahawk. It's a very powerful weapon, very accurate weapon, and maybe that's what makes it so complex. But it will take a year. It takes a year of intense training to learn how to use it. And we know how to use it, and we're not going to be teaching other people. It's too far out into the future.
Yes, Mr. President. I saw, Mr. President, that you said as recently as yesterday that you still believe that Putin wants to end the war.
Yep,
and today
I do.
You took this step to ratchet up the sanctions and put more pressure on him. What else are you going to do to encourage him to get there, or can you explain why you do believe that he wants peace?
Yeah, it's a good question. Today is a very big day in terms of what we're doing. Look, these are tremendous sanctions. These are very big. Those are big.
Nah, I mean, I understand Tomahawk's been around for a minute, but he's saying that shit, Zelensky not getting them, and his reasoning was because it take him a while to learn it. Whether it take him that long to use them or not is not what I'm debating. I'm sitting here saying Trump said no. At first, he said he was willing to work out a deal for the drones when Zelensky was over here. Now he's saying, nah, he the only person shooting Tomahawks is going to be America. We not shooting them. So Zelensky, you not getting them, and we still want some of them drones probably for some other shit.
Two big oil companies, and we hope that they won't be on for long. We hope that the war will be settled. We just answered having to do with the various forms of missiles and everything else that we're looking at, but we don't think that's going to be necessary. We would like to see them just take the line that has been formed over quite a long period of time and go and let's go home. Last week they had almost 8,000 soldiers killed. Many Russians were killed last week. Many Ukrainians were killed last week. We think it's ridiculous, and we'd like to have it end.
Why do you think he wants peace, though? Why do you still believe that?
I think they want peace. I think they both want peace at this point. It's been, it's almost 4 years. You're going into 4 years, and if I were president, it never would have started. But yeah, it's time.
Mr. President, on the shutdown, do you plan to meet with Democrats before you head to Asia? And if not, why not meet with the Democrats?
Well, I think it's a shame that it's shut down because we have the greatest economy, as you were saying before. We have the greatest economy in the world right now, by far, the United States. We have almost 18, now it was 17, now it's...
Do y'all believe America still holds the greatest economy in the world? Do y'all believe we still have the greatest economy in the world, chat? Yes or no in the chat. Does America have the greatest economy in the world? We still need to hit 100 likes, chat. Double tapping the screen is how you support the channel for free. If you are not a freeloaded American, please double tap the screen for me, man.
$1 trillion being poured into our country, and it's no time for shutdowns. I don't think it's affecting what we're doing, but it's too bad for a lot of people. We have a lot of good people that are working right now that should be, and it's because the Democrats want to try and renegotiate a deal that they had negotiated. They want $1.5 trillion given to illegal immigrants who came into the country, and it's going to hurt the health care of citizens of our country that have been paying into it, that have been working hard for it, that really deserve it. So we're never going to do that. It's not going to happen. And I will tell you, there are a lot of good Democrats that really want to make a deal. And I think all we need is 5 Democrats because we have a great support on the Republican side. So I think we need 5 Democrats, and there are a lot of them that want to make a deal. So I think at some point, common sense will prevail. Yeah, go ahead. You can finish up.
On the drug boat strike in the Eastern Pacific, can
Yeah.
you explain to us what that was about, how it was conducted?
Yeah, sure.
Robert with another 50. Robert, appreciate you for the donation, Robert. I appreciate your continued support. Y'all give Robert some likes and flames on that $50 donation, man. Robert, I do genuinely appreciate that, man. I'm glad that you enjoy the show. I'm glad that y'all show up and support me, man. I couldn't do it without y'all, man. Robert, you get a drop, man.
Welcome to the greatest damn show on YouTube.
Thank you, Robert.
Welcome to the greatest damn show on YouTube.
All right, chat, man. Y'all double tap the screen. We are still 25 subscribers away from the next sub goal, man.
I had one today in the Pacific, and the way I look at it every time I look, because it is violent, and it is it's amazing that the weaponry, that everyone...
Thank you, John.
Have these boats that go 45, 50 miles an hour in the water, and when you look at the accuracy and the power... Look, we have the greatest military in the world. We have the greatest weapons in the world, and you see a little bit of it there. One shot, everyone dead center. And the only way you can't feel bad about it is you realize that you won't feel badly about it, is you realize that every time you see that happen, you're saving 25,000 American lives. Every one of those boats that gets knocked out is saving 25,000 American lives, not to mention the torn up families all over the country. And whenever I see that, I said...
How do y'all feel about Trump knocking smoke off them boats, chat? Are y'all with it or y'all against it, man? How do y'all feel about Trump knocking smoke off the boat? Off those boats, man? Put agree or disagree in the chat, man. Agree or disagree with Trump shooting those, using the drone strikes against the boats. Venezuelan and now Colombian. They did take out a Colombian boat as well.
I just saved 25,000 lives. I will say that there are very few boats traveling on the water right now. Actually, that includes fishing boats. That includes any other kind of boat.
I told y'all. Didn't I tell y'all once that first boat got struck that people better get their ass out that water? It ain't gonna be too much fishing or nothing, man, because your ass gonna get smoke knocked off of you, man. Trump liable to hit you with a drone strike. Hey, listen, they not doing no vetting process, man. Your ass traveling, you fucking... And they said the boat that was Colombian wasn't even in international waters. Your ass on one of those known drug routes. They don't give a damn what you doing over there. Your ass on one of them known drug routes. Trump and Marco Rubio might knock smoke from your shit, man.
There are very few boats traveling on the water. So now they'll come in by land at a lesser...
You say distraction from the Epstein files, chat. Do y'all think we will ever get the Epstein files? Put yes or no in the chat. Do y'all think we will ever get the Epstein files, chat?
lesser extent, and they will be hit on land also. Go ahead, in the back, please.
Do you have legal authority if they do come?
Yes, we do. We have legal authority, right? We're allowed to do that. And if we do by land, we may go back to Congress. But we have, this is a national security problem. They killed 300,000 people last year, these drugs coming in. They killed 300,000 Americans last year, and that gives you legal authority. We have a national security, really, I will say this, when you look at the people we're dealing with, and we know them, we know the people coming in, we know the boats, we know everything else, we're allowed to do it. It's in international waters. If we don't do it, we're going to lose hundreds of thousands of people. Now, they'll be coming in by land a little bit more.
Well, Colombia is reporting that one boat was not, they were fishermen. It was a fisherman boat. It was not a drug smuggling boat, and it was not in international waters. That is what Colombia is reporting to their citizens. I'm just here to say it. I don't know where the boat was at because I wasn't in on the damn drone strike. But we're getting reports that it was international waters. Colombia is reporting to their citizens that these were known fishermen. That they would have had to refill up so many times to even make it to where they were saying that they were supposedly going, and it was not international waters. It was their waters. That's what they're reporting to their citizens over there.
They're not coming in by boat anymore. There are no boats in the water. There are no more boats. We know the boat almost immediately. You know, it's pretty unusual when you see somebody with a fishing rod and 5 engines on the back of the boat. You know, you don't need that to go fishing. Wait. And we will hit them very hard when they come in by land. And they haven't experienced that yet, but now we're totally prepared to do that. We'll probably go back to Congress and explain exactly what we're doing when we come to the land. We don't have to do that, but I think, Marco, I'd like to do that. You may respond to that if you want.
Well, I mean, the question is, bottom line, these are drug boats. If people want to stop seeing drug boats blow up, stop sending drugs to the United States.
But does it matter if it's in the United States?
Well, these are all in international waters. The boat.
Do a strike in the United States, or if North America?
Well, that's a different matter. Now you're talking about a law enforcement matter. In this particular case, there are people traveling on international waters headed towards the United States with hostilities in mind, which includes flooding our country with dangerous, deadly drugs. And they're going.
Marco, you sound nervous. You shaking like a stripper, man. Like, why is Marco so nervous saying this? Like, it's like he don't even believe this shit, bro. I'm telling y'all, Colombia's reporting something different to their people, man. Whether it's true or not, man, I don't know. But I just don't like the way. Why is he shaking like a stripper, man?
I'd like to do that. You may respond to that if you want.
Well, I mean, the question is, bottom line, these are drug boats. If people want to stop seeing drug boats blow up, stop sending drugs to the United States.
But does it matter if it's in the United States?
Well, these are all in international waters. The boat.
Do a strike in the United States, or if North America?
Well, that's a different matter. Now you're talking about a law enforcement matter. In this particular case, there are people traveling on international waters headed towards the United States with hostilities in mind, which includes flooding our country with dangerous, deadly drugs. And they're going to be stopped. And that's what's happening. And in the case last week, you saw there was a submarine. It was a submarine. It was a submersible. That's a drug boat all the way through. We know what these boats are. The president just said it. We track them from the very beginning. We know who's on them, who they are, where they're coming from, what they have on them.
Man, you could hear at the end, man. I don't know what you said. Right then, he was nervous. I mean, we listen to speech over here, speeches all the time. We listen to orators, the best to the worst. His voice was cracking. He was shaking at the end of that shit. He was trying to force it out. Like, he was nervous right there when he said it. I mean, it's at the beginning he wasn't, but at the end, yeah, his voice started cracking. He was nervous, agitated, irritated, maybe, but it just came off more nervous to me.
Drug boats, you're in grave danger.
And drug usage.
I'm no expert by any means, so don't believe me because I'm not an expert. I'm just saying it just came off as nervous.
Down and drug usage coming from the sea. They call it ocean drugs. A little term that they use, the ocean drugs, is very close to non-existent right now. I wouldn't want to be in one of those boats heading away. You know, they're driving happily to destroy the lives of people, and they end up, that's the end of them. So the ocean drugs and the sea drugs, drugs by sea they call it also, that's almost down to nothing, as you can imagine. So they continue to come in by land at a little bit less because they see something is going to happen. They don't like it. They see something, and they're right. Something very serious is going to happen. The equivalent of what's happening by sea. And we're going to Congress just to tell them what we're doing, just to keep them informed. But we have to do it for national security. We have to do it to save lives.
Man, y'all know what ocean drugs is, man. Come on, man. We know what y'all. Nobody calls it ocean drugs, but we know what ocean drugs is. It's that cocaina. It's that fatty wop, man. They not bringing in the weed on the. You know it ain't no weed coming on that boat. Y'all know where the weed come from. Y'all know what ocean drugs is. That girl, that boy, that fatty, hard drugs, man. We know what that shit is. Don't act brand new in here. Don't act brand not in here. Y'all can go to another live and act brand new. Y'all know what ocean drugs is, man.
Secretary Bessent said that Vladimir Putin had not been honest and forthright in his talks with you. Just wondering if you could tell us a little bit more about your feelings about that, and also if I may to Munir Rutte, just your thoughts on whether Ukraine should get tomahawks. Thank you.
Well, I think that in terms of honesty, the only thing I can say is every time I speak with Vladimir, I have good conversations, and then they don't go anywhere. They just don't go anywhere. So in that sense, but no, look, he's fighting a war. He's in a war. That's two very competent sides, and that's the way war is. You never know with war, but I would say that it's time to make a deal. A lot of people are dying. You know, they're not Americans, but they're people. They're souls, and they're dying by the thousands. Worst since World War II, and we really should stop it.
And to your other question,
please.
Sorry, to your other question, this has been consistent from this president when we first met again after your re-election in Mar-a-Lago in November. You said we have to stop the killing. This is close to your heart, and this is your vision. That's why this war needs to end. When it comes to tomahawks, whatever system, it's up to individual nations to decide whatever they want to supply to Ukraine. NATO doesn't take a position, but I can assure you this. When the president called me in July and said we want to again send weapons into Ukraine, paid for by our allies, the Canadians and the Europeans, that was an important moment. And that is now taking place, and the ambassador, myself, we are working hard at this. Already a couple of $1 billion.
Captain said, why can't blacks talk properly? Why you can't mind your fucking business?
Weaponry into Ukraine from the US, paid for by allies. So I'm not going to comment on about the tomahawks, but when it comes to the US and all the support for Ukraine, it is there and it is close to the president's heart, and I know this.
I will say this, and you know, Mark can say it better than anybody. The European nations and Canada have really pulled together.
What do you do, Curtis?
I mean, it's really beyond that.
And especially Australians and New Zealanders.
Dorsey said all that gold is tacky. Dorsey, you a damn lie. I'm not gonna lie. The Oval Office is really one of those right now. I'm not gonna lie. Gold prices went up. Trump went 24 carat everything, man. 18 carat. I don't know how many carats it is, man. He went over there, got some of that Indian gold, man. Look at how gold is, man. Bouncing off of that cream colored cherry, man. Chill out, Dorsey. You hating, man. That shit nice.
If you want to really add them up.
See, it only looked like Timu gold, Sunset. It only looked like Timu gold because we used to that American gold, man. We used to American gold. That Indian, it be real pure gold. I seen when he first brought it in, that shit was looking real gold. It was looking like, yeah, that Indian gold. You know what I'm saying? The Indian, like India, the country, that kind of gold, man.
But NATO, basically, European and Canada, and a lot of other nations, they've really band together. They are not happy about what's happening with Russia and Ukraine. They're not happy at all. Neither am I.
Mr. President.
Jeff?
Sir, just changing this topic slightly, I see you've got the
model
of the White House and the ballroom. Many people were surprised the entire East Wing is being demolished because you had said initially that the ballroom would just touch or would not touch.
Certain areas certain areas are being left. We determined that after really a tremendous.
Listen, this man spending $280 million on a damn ballroom, $172 million on Christy Nome 2 jets, retrofitting a Qatar jet for $1 billion, and y'all trying to tell me there's some Timu gold?
study with some of the best architects in the world, we determined that really knocking it down, trying to use a little section, you know, the East Wing was not much. There was not much left from the original. It was, over the course of 100 years, it was changed, the columns were removed, and it was a much different building. Then a story was added on in 1948, 1949. There was a story added on, which was not particularly nice. And the building was very, very much changed from what it was originally. It was never thought of as being much. It was a very small building. And rather than allowing that to hurt a very expensive, beautiful building that, frankly, they've been after for years. You have that. I brought these along so people could see, but it's, you know, there's a relative, nobody's actually seen anything quite like it. I think it'll be one of the great ballrooms anywhere in the world. It's about $300 million. It's set to do many, many things, including meetings of foreign leaders, including the honoring of foreign leaders. You can see this. This is a plan. If it's got tables so that you...
Why the fuck do we care about honoring foreign leaders? I'm just gonna be honest here. Like, is he talking about the ballroom like it's gonna be a... Like, listen, I built the ballroom with foreign leaders. Man, Trump, fuck them, man. We America first right now, baby. Fuck them people right now, man. They playing you left and right, Trump. You just said you play with the best of them, man. Fuck them people, man.
A foreign leader, we have a proper space. Right now, we have a space that with tables holds about 79 people. And this is a proper kind of a thing. Now, what the White House was doing, as you know, is they were putting tents out on the lawn. This is an interior shot of the ballroom. I think there'll be nothing like it. And it's being paid for 100% by me and some friends of mine, donors.
Look at Game. He in here hating, talking about bro really wasted $50 donating. Listen, Game, you a hating motherfucker. We gonna get you up out of here. Matter of fact, let's get you up out of here, bro. I'm gonna keep it real. The only reason that pissed me off is because he has a channel. He probably ain't got a donation in a few summers, and now he just want to come piss on our parade. Game Heil. Maybe if you had a better channel name, you would get a dono, my boy.
Do it. The government's paying absolutely nothing. We're also working with the military on it because they want to make sure everything's perfect, and the military is very much involved in this. They want to make sure everything is absolutely beautiful. You can see the kind of interiors that we're talking about. That's an interior of the ballroom. And it's the highest level. And you see it goes beautifully with the White House. I mean, the mix is beautiful. So over the years, many presidents have made changes. This obviously would be the biggest change, but this was something they've wanted for at least 150 years. Many of you have gone to the events where they had, as an example, President Xi, or they had, you know, a leader of one of the countries, including the king and the queen from your favorite country,
absolutely,
frankly, but where they'd be honored, and they'd be in a tent out on the lawn, and it would rain, and it was a disaster. Brian's shaking his head, you know what I'm talking about. And so I thought I'd bring this out because this is going to be probably the finest ballroom ever built, and we're doing it, no cost.
Man, listen, Trump, I'm not gonna lie. They asked you the question and Trump took the damn bait. He's talking about how fine this ballroom is gonna be. He's talking about how he's gonna accommodate these foreign leaders, bro. Like, bro, folks still not getting checks right now, Trump. I know you can't do nothing too much about it, but shit, man, you need to tell motherfuckers to start taking checks or something, Trump, man. Listen, we got a government shutdown right now. The air traffic controllers not getting paid. TSA line, we just see the dude try to run up in TSA in Atlanta with a chopper. Hey, Trump, man, chill out with this ballroom for a second, big dog. We gotta take care of home first, man. We gotta get some other shit going, man.
The country, it's being put in, the money's being put in by me and donors, very great patriots, actually. And the spirit on the building of it is amazing. We are using little sections of footings and various other things, but that's sort of irrelevant. In order to do it properly, we had to take down the existing structure. The way it was shown, it looked like we were touching the White House. We don't touch the White House. That's a bridge, a glass bridge, going from the White House to the ballroom. then you get into the lobby of the ballroom, and then you go into the magnificent, the main room, and it's something that has gotten incredible reviews.
Just quickly following up on that, sir.
You talking about quit watching mainstream media? Who? I'm watching Mike Johnson talk about it. I'm watching all the people that's supposed to be making the decision. I'm watching it directly out their mouth, man. How many days in a row Mike Johnson and got up there and talked about this shutdown? How many days in a row have we listened to Hakeem Jeffries, AOC, and everybody else talk about coming to the table? How many times have we looked at other people? What's the big guy that doesn't ever wear a suit? He always got a hoodie on, talking about he chose country over party, and you know he wants to get the government. But we watching it directly from the horse's mouth, man. The people out there fighting. I don't know what you mean, dude.
I want a quick follow-up on that question. You're responding to people who say that you haven't been transparent enough about this.
I haven't been transparent?
That some of your
Really?
feel it's
I've shown this to everybody that would listen. Third-rate reporters didn't see it because they didn't look. You're a third-rate reporter, always have been. So third-rate reporters didn't look, but anybody that asked, these pictures have been in newspapers. They've been all over the place, and you know, we're very proud of it. It's gotten great reviews. It's gotten really great reviews. So I think we've been more transparent than anybody's ever been.
Why do you believe, Mr. President, that the sanctions that you're announcing today will push Putin to the
Well, I don't know that they will. I think that they'll certainly have an impact. They're massive sanctions. It's sanctions on oil. The two biggest oil companies, among the biggest in the world, but they're Russian. They do a lot of oil. And hopefully it'll push, hopefully he'll become reasonable, and hopefully Zelensky will be reasonable too. You know, it takes two to tango, as they say, and we're going to find out. They hate each other. These two people hate each other. You know that better than anybody, and it makes it more difficult than it should be. This should be easier to do, but the level of hatred between Zelensky and Putin is very substantial.
Could I add one thing? What the president is doing today with these sanctions is putting more pressure, of course, on both parts, in this case on Russia. It's all about changing the calculus, making sure that Putin understands that the president's vision this weekend of having a ceasefire, stop where they are, as you literally said, that this has to be step one now. And for him to really accept that vision and to come to the table. And then you have to put pressure, and this is exactly what he did today.
Along with Europe. I mean, Europe, look, they've actually become friends of mine. I think all of them.
Yeah.
We have a very close relationship, and they want to see it end too. They really want to see it end. But I can say they're totally committed. If this went on for 10 more years, Europe is behind them. And they just can't let that happen. You can't let what's been going on. Now, it should have never happened. It would have never happened if I were president. But it did happen. I inherited. This was Biden, a man who was, without question, you take a look at the new walkway, the Presidential Walk of Fame, we call it.
LL, what it do? Oh, you talking about the presidential walkway where he got Biden's auto pen there. He got the auto pen up there for Biden. Like, I'm not going to lie, Chad. The political memes and the pettiness that I've seen over the last 10 months has been crazy. From both sides now. Now it's become both sides. But, like, dude got a picture of all the presidents. He even put Obama up there, but put an auto pen for Joe Biden. Crazy work. Putting sombreros on Hakeem Jeffries, and that's crazy work.
Biden is the worst president we've ever had, if he was even a president. The people that surrounded that desk made those decisions. But this should have never happened. It wouldn't have happened. But it did happen. I inherited it. We're going to get it ended, hopefully soon. Yes, please.
You had a Truth Social post earlier this afternoon talking about a Wall Street Journal report as a fake story.
Yeah, fake. Wall Street Journal is fake. Less fake on financial than it is on gossip.
Can you just confirm that my understanding of what's happening is accurate? As I understand it, that story framed it like we had just lifted the U.S. a restriction on intelligence.
No, it said that I gave Ukraine permission to shoot missiles deep into Russia. I didn't do that. Second of all, they're not using our missiles. They're using, I think, European missiles or from someplace, but they're not using ours. And what they do, I don't control that. But I do control our missiles.
Hey, chill out, Trump. They're not using our missiles. I think they're using European missiles or for some place. Hey, Trump really just passed the buck on NATO leader. Like, look, bro, this your question. You called that shot, big dog. You called it. Why am I answering your question?
They're not shooting our missiles in. It was a fake story. Wall Street Journal does a lot of fake stories.
Thank you so much. The president of Colombia in a recent interview said that if you won't change, he thinks that people should get rid of you.
We're talking about now Colombia, the country, not the university.
Yes.
Go ahead. He said what?
He said that if you won't change, then perhaps you will be gotten rid of. Do you view that as a threat?
Well, he's a thug and bad guy. He's a guy that is making a lot of drugs. We've just, as of today, stopped all payments going to Colombia, the country Colombia. Also, the school Colombia. No, we settled. We made a settlement with him. But now he's a thug, and he's a bad guy, and he's hurt his country very badly. They're doing very poorly, Colombia. They make cocaine.
What does he mean, all payments? Does he mean like remittance payments too? Like what does he mean, all payments?
In factories. They grow all sorts of crap that's drugs, bad drugs coming into the United States, goes generally through Mexico. And he better watch it or we'll take very serious action against him and his country. His country is, what he has led his country into is a death trap. Please.
Has the Secretary General presented his Ukrainian peace plan to you? Are you prepared to be the chairman of the Board of Peace?
There is no Secretary General peace plan. But I'm here for, I really want to correct it because I saw some of that in the media. Of course, many people are thinking how to bring this terrible war to an end and supporting the president in...
Yeah, that's crazy. I want to know if he's talking about remittance payments. Somebody said yes, he is. What's up, Cash? Y'all double tap the screen, shut a live out. We are 25 subscribers away from the next sub goal. We go live every single day over here talking current events, entertainment, and politics. Subscribe to the channel. Double tapping the screen is how you support the channel for free. If you are not a freeloader, double tap the screen, man.
Why I'm here is to dialogue again with the president how I can be, how NATO, my colleagues and other colleagues in NATO can be of maximum support to get that done. But there is no peace plan on the table. If there is a peace plan, it is what the president said last Friday and Sunday, which is stop where you are. Stop the fighting.
This is about NATO. We're a very proud member of NATO. We have a great relationship with the countries of NATO. I think made much better by our visit a few months ago when they agreed to 5% instead of 2% of GDP. That was a big concession. I think that was a concession that 2 years ago nobody would have said, even a year ago.
Even 9 months ago, before you were elected.
Yeah, they would have said that's not possible. Absolutely. And the difference is they're paying 5% as opposed to not paying 2%. A lot of them weren't paying, with the exception of Spain. I think you're going to have to talk to Spain. Because Spain is not a team player. So other than Spain, everybody's 100%. And you could solve the Spain problem very easily, I think, if you want. Brian, go ahead. Yeah, go ahead, and then we'll take Brian. Go ahead.
The soybean farmers, are they going to be getting support from you soon? And
yeah, well, they do. So what's happened, you could say with that, you could say with beef, with all of it. The beef, the ranchers,
You said Canada isn't paying 5%, Naomi. How much is Canada paying right now? Chat, we're almost at 200 likes. We're about 60 likes away from 200. Let's get to 200 likes right quick. Push us out in the algorithm. Share this video out far and wide. I don't care if it's to your timeline or the last person you text. Let's go. Let's get it. But how much is Canada paying if they're not paying 5%?
Who have done a great job, have lost their shirts for many, many years. They've really been decimated. And I helped them a lot. I put tariffs on things coming in to the country, including beef. And that gave them a chance to finally have a decent industry. We are going to be talking to them. They're great people, but they've been hurt for 25, 30 years. They've been losing because other countries have taken advantage of them. And by putting tariffs on, they've been able to make a few dollars. They've been able to have an industry. But I also want to keep the beef prices low. So I'll be talking with the ranchers, and I'll be speaking with a lot of different people, including Scott and Howard, and we'll do something. Because prices are way down in our country. Energy is way down. I think you're going to see $2 gasoline very soon. I see that it's $2.50 in a lot of places, $2.50. We were heading to $5, $6, and $7 If Biden didn't go back to my policy toward the end, you would have seen, but he didn't go back to the full policy, and he missed the most important thing. So we were up to, we were way up. I think you're going to see $2 gasoline. We couldn't even break that number. That's a big difference. The only cost that's really up is beef, and the fake news only wants to talk about beef. And what I did is I made it possible for those people to survive. They're incredible people. But they were being decimated by other countries, and I didn't want that to happen. So prices are way down, groceries are down, everything's down, energy's way down, even interest rates with a bad chairman of the Fed. He's terrible, he's a fool. But even interest rates are down. So our country has never done better. We're going to take in, I think, $21 trillion this year. No country has ever taken in more than $3. And we're going to take in $21 trillion of investments because of the tariffs. If we didn't have tariffs, we would be a mess. We would be a national security problem. And we've done a job. So I'm very happy about that. We're going to do something very quickly and easily on.
Yeah, I ain't gonna lie, Chad. I bought some toilet paper, apple juice, some pretzels, a loaf of bread, and some honey buns, and that was like $40, bro. That was like a 40 ball. That was like $35.
It down. The ranchers understand that. They're so happy for what I've done. I saved them. I don't think you'd have any beef in this country if I didn't do that. So we're very proud of that. Yeah, Brian?
Yes, sir. Yesterday in Los Angeles, immigration officials were attacked by some protesters in an attempt to arrest an illegal alien. Gavin Newsom, other Democrats have used very aggressive language in terms of how to address ICE agents out in the field. Is there any responsibility that we can place on Gavin Newsom and other elected officials for using such aggressive language?
Well, Gavin has to be careful. Remember that when I first came in, they had a terrible riot in Los Angeles. They had the fires, which shouldn't have happened. They didn't have the water for the fires. They should have had the water coming in from the Pacific Northwest. They didn't have the waters. They didn't have water in the hydrants or the sprinklers. So they had the fires, and then they had the riot. And if we didn't...
Yeah, Corey, we're all 40 ball. Quick 40 ball.
Take care of that riot, you would have lost Los Angeles. You would have canceled the Olympics, which is because of me in Los Angeles. And
LL, gas is like $2.40 where I'm at. Gas is like, it was like actually it was like $2.25 the other day. Gas was like $2.25. I'm in Central Texas though. Gas was like it's between $2.25 and it's probably floating between $2.25 and $2.40.
The police commissioner, the head of the police, said if the president didn't come in, we would have lost Los Angeles. We did not have the capability of taking care of it. And he said it very strongly. And we did a great job. And within a week it was all done. Within one day it was done, but within a week it was all done. And then they go back to their normal practice of weakness, of not taking care of criminals, meaning taking care of putting them in jails where they should be. Washington, D.C., and you all are the best people for that, because Washington, D.C. is now one of the safest cities. It was one of the most dangerous cities in the country. Now Washington, D.C., believe it or not, I'm embarrassed to say it in front of you, but Washington, D.C. went from one of the worst, most dangerous cities to, you can walk down the street, you can send your child to meet you at a location. Your child is going to be fine. We have a very, very safe city, one of the safest, and, very proud of that. Memphis, by the way, is coming along fantastically. We're in Memphis right now. We had the FBI in Chicago. We're doing things. We haven't served Chicago yet. When we do, Chicago will be very quickly a very, very safe city. But if you look at what's happening in Memphis, it's great. But you got to look at Washington. People are coming up to me. People that work in the White House are saying, "Thank you, sir." And I immediately know what they're thanking me about. It's thanking they can walk to work. They would never walk to work a year ago. They can walk into work and they feel safe and secure, and it's beautiful. And I'll tell you what, it's really an honor to add that great ballroom to the structures in Washington. It's going to be one of the great ballrooms of the world, and I think it's going to be something you're all going to be very proud of.
As it relates to your meeting that's coming up with President President Xi. What do you hope comes out of that meeting? What deliverables come
I think we'll make a deal. I think we're going to make a deal on the rare earth is the least of it. Look, the tariffs are much more powerful than the rare earth. The rare earth is a disturbance, but there's a lot of rare earth around. I'll tell you, I've had more calls on rare earth. We've got it. Everybody's. We'll make a deal on, I think, everything. I think we're going to make a deal on soybeans and the farmers. I think we're going to make a deal on maybe even nuclear. You know, President Putin in his call mentioned to me about nuclear, where we do a de-escalation, and I'm fine with that. I think it's good. I think it's a very appropriate thing. We have the most nuclear weapons. Russia's second. China is actually...
What do y'all think they're going to do? Do y'all think they're going to get the de-escalation done, chat? Yes or no in the chat?
A long way, but they'll be even within 4 or 5 years. Too many. And we are talking about de-escalation. That's already being talked about.
Can you
and I think we'll probably add China into the mix.
Mr. President, convince President Xi to stop purchasing all of that Russian oil that's funding this war against Ukraine?
Well, I think I'll be talking to him about it. I think it's a little bit of a different talk. India, as you know, has told me they are stop. You know, it's a process. You can't just stop it. But by the end of the year, they'll be down to almost nothing. That's a big thing. There was almost 40% of the oil. India, they've been great. Spoke to Prime Minister Modi yesterday. They've been absolutely great. China's a little bit different. You know, they're a little bit different relationship they have with Russia. It was never good, but because of Biden and Obama, they got forced together. They should never have been forced together, but they're a little bit forced. But they're by nature, they're not. They can't be friendly. They can't be so. By nature, they can, I hope they are friendly, frankly, but they can't be. You should not have forced Russia and China together. And Biden did that, and Obama did that. They forced them together because of energy, because of oil. And so they are closer than they would normally be. I think I'll probably be talking about it. What I'll really be talking to him about is how do we end the war with Russia and Ukraine, whether it's through oil or energy or anything else. And I think he's going to be very receptive. He would now like to, I'm not sure that he did at the beginning, he would now like to see that war end.
Double tap the screen, shut a live out. V, what it do? V, welcome in. V, what's up, Delphine? You said God is watching, they'll know what's good for them.
Mr. President, do you think Xi plays an important role in terms of inserting himself and convincing Putin, who he speaks to regularly, to stop the war right
now? Yeah, I do. I think he can have a big influence on Putin. I think he can have a big influence on a lot of people. Look, he's a respected man. He's a very strong leader of a very big country. Yeah, I think he can have a big influence. And we will certainly be talking about Russia, Ukraine.
In the back. Thank you, Mr. President. Liam Cosgrove with Zero. My question is actually for the Secretary General.
Yes.
Mr. Secretary, I don't know if you've seen this, but polling out of Ukraine shows a massive collapse in Ukrainian support for the war. A Gallup poll had it just 23%. That's less than a quarter. Zelensky came out today praising President Trump's proposal for freezing the front lines of battle as part of a ceasefire. He said that's a good compromise. So people view your coming here as, you're lobbying the U.S. government to continue its involvement in the war. You're obviously lobbying for more NATO weapons to be sent to Ukraine, but Ukrainians themselves don't want to fight the war. So how do you justify that morally?
Well, I'm lobbying only for one thing, and that is to make sure that we end this war. And I don't have to lobby the president because we totally agree on this, and this is what he has been doing from day one. Everything he could do to break the deadlock with Putin, get the dialogue going, dialoguing also with Zelensky, and getting this war done. It's crucial. And the fact that the US is now supplying weapons into Ukraine, paid for by allies, is extremely important. And that's now happening since 2-3 months. About 2 billion moving into Ukraine.
The war hasn't wind down. Why do you think that'll wind it down now?
What do you mean?
You think more weapons will wind down the war?
No, I mean, there's more to be done. So what you need, what the president said this weekend, stop where you are, so basically do a ceasefire and then have all your discussions about territory and whatever. But first stop the war. This is what you said on Friday and on Sunday.
It's a war, I mean, your question's really a fair one. It's a war that should have never started. And you know how I feel about it, but it's a war that should have never started. And we're not selling any weapons to Ukraine, we're selling them to NATO. Which is different from before with Biden. He just gave $350 billion worth of weapons and cash right into Ukraine, and that was so foolish. But we sell them to NATO, and in theory, you can do what you want with them. It doesn't have to be Ukraine, but probably it is mostly.
Now, what nations are doing now is buying from this program and making sure that the supplies in Ukraine, for Europeans and Canadians.
Thank you, Tony, for the 5 gifted memberships, man. Y'all give Tony some flames and likes for those 5 gifted memberships.
Welcome to the greatest damn show on YouTube.
Thank you, Tony, for your continued support. You just got access to 300 past live streams plus some cool ass emojis. Members, drop those cool emojis and show the new members what they just got access to thanks to Tony.
For example, these are interceptors for the Patriot systems, crucial to protect the cities. Today, again, a Russian attack has killed children, at least seriously wounded children in kindergarten in Ukraine. So we need to make sure that the air defense systems are in place, and we need the US systems to do that, and the Europeans are paying for that. And this is exactly the type of actions we needed, and the President is doing that, and trying everything to get this war to an end, starting with the ceasefire.
Do you still believe that Putin wants to take all of Ukraine?
I always felt that way. I always felt he wanted to. When I was in my first term, I was very close to him, relatively speaking. It was harder because of the Russia hoax. But I would talk to President Putin about Ukraine, and it was the apple of his eye. I'd say it was the apple of his eye. But it would have never happened. He knew the consequences were too great. When we had a rigged election and all of a sudden I wasn't there, he said, wow, I think he looked at Afghanistan, how horribly that was handled, so stupidly. And I think that really gave him a little additional, incentive. I always felt he wanted the whole thing, not a piece of it. But I think now he's willing to negotiate a little bit further, and I think he's willing to make a deal. We'll see.
Mr. President,
we don't want him. We don't want him to have the whole thing.
Mr. President,
Thank you, Mr. President. You just
See, the devil's in the details. Y'all hear he said we don't want him to have the whole thing. He didn't say we don't want him to have any. We don't want him to have it. Zelensky doesn't want him to have any of it. Trump's saying we don't want him to have the whole thing. So we got to listen to that verbiage right there.
Harris case before the Supreme Court. It's November the 5th.
Yeah.
You suggested you might actually show up to the Supreme Court.
Yeah, I'd like to. I think it's one of the most important decisions we'll ever have for the Supreme Court. With tariffs, we're a strong, sound country. We're a nationally secure and internationally secure country. We're a very rich country. Without tariffs, it's a slog for this country, a big slog. I think it's one of the most important decisions in the history of the Supreme Court. And I might go there. I really believe I have an obligation to go there. We are doing so well as a country right now because of tariffs. And you have to understand, tariffs have been used against us for many years, decades. And just slowly but surely.
Goddess, I'm live, I'm plugged, I'm live, but this press conference was from earlier.
Our country so badly. That's why we owe $37 trillion. We owe that because other countries have taken advantage of us over many decades. And now we're a rich country. We're taking in money like we've never done before. Without tariffs, that would not be happening. And also, I solved, as you know, 8 wars. Of the 8, 5 of them, maybe even 6 of them, are because of tariffs. The threat of tariffs on these nations, if you want to fight, that's okay. India and Pakistan, if you want to fight, that's okay. But you're going to pay tariffs, and they're going to be very substantial. And we're in the midst of a trade deal, and they said, we don't want to do that. 2 days later, they call up, and they're not going to fight anymore. They have peace. But I've done that out of 8, I would say 6 times, 5 times, 6 times. Tariffs are vital to this country, and tariffs have been used against us by China, by every other country, and all we're doing is using them to negotiate fair deals. And as you know, we made a fair deal with Japan, we made a fair deal with all of Europe, the European Union. We made a fair deal with South Korea. These are countries that were taking so much money away from us, not sustainable, and now we're taking in hundreds of billions and even trillions of dollars. If this country is not allowed to have tariffs, if this country is not allowed to have the President of the United States negotiate on behalf of it with tariffs, we are put in a position where we're going to be a third world country. We can't let that happen. I think it's the most important case that we're going to have for many, many years to come. One of the most important cases we've ever had. With tariffs, we're a rich, secure country. Without tariffs, we're a laughing stock. We'll be a laughing stock. And I don't want to have anything to do with that. Thank you very much.
Do y'all think we are a rich, powerful country with tariffs, and without tariffs we'll be a laughing stock? Yes or no in the chat. Do y'all think we are a rich, powerful country with tariff and a laughing stock without them? Chat, double tap the screen, shut a live out. We are about 25 subscribers away from the next sub goal. Let's get a quick 25 subs. We are still chasing 200 likes, man. Double tap the screen is how you support the channel for free. And be sure to share this video out far and wide, man. We're going to get into Hakeem Jeffries. We're going to see what he said today. We watched Mike Johnson yesterday, I believe. We're going to get into Hakeem Jeffries. We're going to see what Hakeem talking about. I think somebody put an attempt on his life. One of the Pardon January 6ers got arrested for threatening Hakeem Jeffries' life. So one of the Pardon J 6ers got arrested for threatening Hakeem Jeffries' life. So he came out today and was like, all you extremists, you better watch what you say when you talking about me. Like he was on some 50 Cent shit. Like, I don't know what you heard about me. You know what I'm saying? Like straight up. But let's see what he talking about though.
Thank you, Mr. Leader. At this point, do you think a new CR is needed past that November 21st date? And if so, what would be an acceptable end date? And would it have to be paired with some type of vote on an ACA extension?
What we need to occur right now is what Democrats have maintained from the very beginning. At this point, we need to reopen the government. We need to enact a spending bill that actually meets the needs of the American people in terms of their health, their safety, and their economic well-being, particularly in terms of driving down the high cost of living, while at the same time decisively addressing the Republican healthcare crisis that grows graver by the day. Our position over the last several weeks has remained consistent. Cancel the cuts, lower the costs, save healthcare, address the urgency of the expiration of the Affordable Care Act tax credits. This is not a partisan issue. And that's why we've seen Democrats and now many Republicans, traditional conservatives and right-wing conservatives like Marjorie Taylor Greene, all acknowledge what Democrats have been saying for weeks, which is that the Congress needs to act to extend the Affordable Care Act tax credits to prevent tens of millions of Americans from experiencing dramatically increased premiums, copays, and deductibles. All
right, so Hakeem Jeffries he's seeming a little bit more comfortable tonight. We've seen him before and he just wasn't there yet as, speaking. But tonight, Hakeem Jeffries seeming like he might have, something to say.
Devastate the American people. It's unacceptable. And House Republicans need to cancel their vacations, get back into town so we can do the business of the American people.
All right, chat, how do y'all feel about the House Republicans being on vacation, man? Do y'all agree with it or disagree with it? Let me know in the chat if you agree with the House Republicans being on vacation because they know that they're not ready to, capitulate. If you don't have a problem with it, put no problem. If you do have a problem with it, put yes, I have a problem with it. They need to get their ass to work. Y'all let me know.
Thanks, Pat.
Do you have a response to Trump refusing to meet with you and Leader Schumer until the shutdown's over?
Donald Trump has spent more time on the golf course than he has in talking to Democrats on Capitol Hill to reopen the government, to enact a spending agreement that's bipartisan, and to address the Republican health care crisis. His behavior, unpresidential, unhinged, unpatriotic, un-American, throughout this process, speaks for itself and makes clear that Republicans shut the government down and have had zero interest in opening it up. Why? Because they'd rather inflict this kind of pain on hardworking federal civil servants and the American people than provide health care that's affordable to everyday Americans, working class Americans, and middle class Americans. Catherine Pete? Good.
Thank you, Mr. Leader. Going back to the CR conversation, some Senate Republicans, including Leader Thune, have said the longer the shutdown goes on, the higher the likelihood that a full-year CR would be necessary. What are your thoughts on that conversation kind of intensifying in the Senate? And maybe Chair Aguilar as an appropriator. I know appropriators hate those words, full-year CR, so I'm hoping you can explain to the American people why that's something that probably most Democrats would oppose in this situation.
Well, let me let Chairman Aguilar and Whip Clark respond, and then I'll address the question as well.
Well, just a reminder, Whip Clark is an appropriator on leave, by the way, in her leadership capacity. Look, as the leader mentioned, none of us want a continuing resolution. We want government open. I want people to go to the Smithsonian's. I want park rangers to be able to work. All of this is so incredibly important, and it's why Democrats have been very clear we want government to open. But that takes both parties. That takes Democrats and Republicans. And what frustrated me is, as you heard before, Michael, in the caucus press conferences, is each time Republicans carried a bill in appropriations, they did it in a hyper-partisan environment. And what do I mean by that? They marked to an...
Man, Chad, I'm hearing that little sound in the back. That's on the video. I'm thinking there's something going on. I'm looking around like, what the hell is that?
Used numbers that Donald Trump wanted that they knew the Senate wasn't going to support, that they knew didn't have bipartisan support, and yet they carried forward. And Tom Cole, a well-meaning person, executed this strategy knowing full well it was a waste of time. And what happened as a result? We wasted months when we could have been negotiating, when we could have been working to find common ground in a bipartisan way on actual funding bills. The deadline of September 30th has always been the deadline. It's always been the end of the fiscal year. It seems like House Republicans just maybe tuned in, week 2 of their vacation to figure this out. We knew this in April. We knew this in May and June. And it's just incredibly unfortunate that House Republicans wasted time when they could have been working in a
not yet, Dorsey.
Bipartisan way. And our hope, our focus, our goal.
Not yet.
We don't want a continuing resolution for 14 months. I know the chairman of the Ways and Means Committee just mentioned that. We want actual government open. We want actual funding bills. But we want those done in a bipartisan way. The American people want that. They want us to address this healthcare crisis. It seems like House Republicans and Senate Republicans are the only ones who haven't.
All right, Dorsey, I'm going to open up the phone lines here in a little bit.
Yeah, it is amazing to me that the new conversation is, well, what's the length of the next CR? Let's back up to where we are today. We are in the 22nd day of a shutdown that is completely avoidable. By coming to the table and talking about the American people, and that what they promised, what the Republicans promised, and the president promised on day one, we're going to help.
City prices through the roof. Housing costs up. Grocery costs up. Child care costs up. And now Republicans refuse to do anything.
Dorsey gonna ask me why my phone number, because I just wanted to put it up. Chill out, Dorsey.
Then the Affordable Care Act tax credits, which is going to result in tens of millions of people experience dramatically increased premiums, copays, and deductibles. It's out of control. It's a cost of living crisis and it's a healthcare crisis at the same time. And yet Republicans continue to ignore it, refuse to deal with it. And on top
you can't call in and get off topic yet, Dorsey. You gonna be done ran up everybody up out of here getting off topic and shit. We can't do it right now, man. We gonna get through this. Listen to Hakeem talk about people threatening his life in the January 6th that got pardoned, threatening his life and getting arrested. Then we'll take call in.
We're in a moment where millions of Americans are about to increase their experience with heightened food insecurity, with hunger, because of the one big ugly bill and the fact that Republicans enacted the largest cut to nutritional assistance in American history. These are all quality of life issues that have to be dealt with right now. And yet Republicans want to talk about process. And they're...
All right, do y'all think Hakeem Jeffries is the Timur Obama man, or is he not that, man? I mean, I haven't looked at Hakeem Jeffries enough. I'm just now starting to, get into what he's saying a lot more. But why do y'all call him the Timur Obama, man? Why do y'all call him that?
Or the highway approach, their take it or leave it approach, which is what they've been visiting on the American people this entire year in terms of their extremism. And it's all unacceptable. Just come back to work. Let's sit down. Let's negotiate a bipartisan agreement. Let's reopen the government. Let's address the high cost of living in the United States of America. Let's address the hunger that you're creating. And of course, let's address the Republican healthcare crisis. Thanks.
So given the rampant misconduct we're seeing among immigration agents, most recently on Canal Street yesterday in Chinatown, New York City, do you think eventually ICE should get the Doge treatment?
We've all been very outspoken as it relates to the out-of-control behavior unleashed on law-abiding immigrant communities by mass agents hiding their identity and far too often violating the rule of law, often directed at people who are American citizens. And it's all unacceptable. And it's one of the reasons why the American people have turned on Donald Trump and Republicans with respect to their extreme immigration policies. We should be holding the Department of Homeland Security accountable for the overreach and the extremism that they're being.
Didn't Trump just sue the DOJ for like $230 million? Do y'all think Trump's finna win that lawsuit? Didn't he sue the DOJ for like $230?
Objected to in terms of what the American people are experiencing. And yet, we're seeing none of that accountability coming from Republicans. That's unfortunate, but Democrats will continue to make the case to the American people that this is all abnormal. So much of it is unlawful, and it's got to stop.
Mr. Jeffries, thank you. Good afternoon. Can you or Ms. Clark allude to this question about using the health care subsidies and using the end of government funding as an inflection point? The idea that in the minority you don't have many opportunities to say, okay, here's what we want, here's what we need. Can you talk about using that, and is there concern about pain that's being inflicted on federal workers here, because you're like, this is the strategy that we've chosen?
So our position is not about strategy. Mike Johnson and the Republicans keep talking about strategy. What we're focused on as Democrats is making a difference in the lives of the American people. Because the American people deserve better than what they've gotten from Donald Trump and extreme MAGA Republicans, who haven't made their life better. They've made their life worse. Their life has become more expensive. And now because of the Republican health care crisis, that includes the largest cut to Medicaid in American history. Hospitals, nursing homes, and community-based health centers closing all across America, including possibly dozens in Alabama, as was announced earlier this week. And now because of their refusal to extend the Affordable Care Act tax credits, tens of millions of...
All right, Chad, I see somebody saying get AIPAC out. Are y'all for AIPAC or against AIPAC, man? Put for or against in the chat, man. Let me know.
Are about to experience dramatically increased health care costs that will medically bankrupt them or prevent these Americans from being able to go see a doctor when they need one. These are real life consequences of extreme Republican policies. That's what this moment is all about. And as Democrats, we're going to continue to stand with hard-working federal employees who've been under assault by Donald Trump and his administration since January 20th of this year, prior to the start of the Trump Republican shutdown. More than 200,000 federal employees had already been forced off the job by Donald Trump. That's before the shutdown. So it's unfortunate that Trump and the Republicans have chosen to use their own shutdown to further hurt the American people.
I would say I'm against all lobbying, but I would be lying. It's some shit that I don't really, you know what I'm saying? It is some lobbying, like the NRA. Like, I'm not too upset with the NRA getting their lobby on. I used to not care about the National Realtor Association, but now that we see rents rising and just what's going on there, I'm a little more in tune with that. But I'm not against all lobbying because that's another conversation for another day. I'm just not against all lobbying, you know. Specific lobbies like foreign lobbies, yeah, I'm against foreign lobbies. Yeah, foreign lobbies is crazy.
Why our position continues to be, come to the table, let's reopen the government, let's enact a bipartisan spending agreement that makes life better for the American people, and let's address the healthcare crisis that's devastating people in working class America, in rural America, in urban America, in small town America, in the heartland of America, and in black and brown communities all across America.
Yeah, let's rewind the tape a little bit here and talk about how we got here. Donald Trump promised the American people, I will love and cherish Medicaid. And if you remember, when they were going through their budget process, they took $800 billion, said we're going to...
Leader Jeffrey, what advice are you offering Illinois Democrats right now who are considering redrawing their maps? And do you share any reservations about potentially diluting Democratic strongholds?
As was the case in California, it's my expectation that Illinois Democrats are going to carefully consider their options and make sure that they draw the fairest map possible for the people of that great state in the context of Donald Trump's efforts to gerrymander congressional maps all across the country, including most recently in North Carolina, because Republicans are running scared. They know that if the election were held today, they would lose the House decisively, and that's why they're trying to rig the midterm elections.
So are you supportive of the redistricting
Thanks. Same answer. Third row.
Opie,
Yep.
In about a week, House staffers will start to miss their first paycheck if the government shutdown continues to drag on. What kind of guidance have you given to offices or staff about this upcoming deadline?
Yeah, there's been ongoing discussions with our hardworking staff. These are great patriotic Americans who are all in on public service, all in on serving the people that members of Congress are privileged to represent across the country, and we'll continue to provide them with a lot of information. The hope is that we get this shutdown resolved before the end of the month. We've been maintaining.
All right, chat, man. I don't know, man. I don't know. I think they might get it done before the first, but do y'all think they get this shutdown done before the first or after the first, chat? Put before or after the first, man.
From the very beginning of the Trump Republican shutdown. But Republicans have had they shut the government down. All the Republicans talk about every time they stand at this podium or appear on TV, from the speaker on down, all they talk about is the American people gave them unified government, complete control of government. We control government. This is what Republicans say. We have a mandate. Republicans control the House, the Senate, and the presidency. They shut the government down. They reinforce that point every time that talking point comes out of their mouth. And what Democrats are saying is that we want to find a bipartisan path forward, but that involves good faith negotiation on the other side of the aisle, so we can come to a common sense resolution in ways that are actually designed to make life better for the American people. We're fighting to lower the high cost of living. We're fighting to fix the healthcare system that Republicans have broken. And we're also fighting to clean up corruption in Washington, D.C., where we have an American president behaving like an organized crime boss, stealing taxpayer dollars in real time.
Yo, we finna see what Mike Johnson say too. Mike Johnson did one of these. I think Hakeem and Mike Johnson pretty much speak every day. We're gonna see what Mike Johnson say.
Everyone in plain sight. And the Republicans have nothing to say about the emerging crime scene at 1600 Pennsylvania Avenue.
November 1st is coming up quite soon, and more Americans will get those premium notifications. What is the or is there a strategy change once you hit that date and then beyond that date in terms of how Democrats are viewing the shutdown, how you're messaging, and what we can all expect going forward?
Our view has been very clear from the beginning. One of the reasons why we need to act decisively and need to act now as a Congress to address the Affordable Care Act tax credit issue is because notices are going out to millions of people right now as we speak across the country, frightening them to death when they see that their premiums are about to increase, in some instances, by more than $1,000 or $2,000 a month. And more than 90% of the people who receive Affordable Care Act tax credits make approximately $63,000 a year. Think about that. How can you possibly afford premium increases of more than $1,000 or $2,000 a month? And as open enrollment starts on
you can't.
November 1st, more and more Americans are going to realize the urgent need for Congress to act decisively, as Democrats have been saying for weeks. But Republicans continue to bury their heads in the sand because they'd rather keep the government closed than provide health care that's affordable to working class Americans.
Thank you so much. Can you just speak to some of the programs that Democrats want funding for in the $1.5 trillion list of demands? We've heard things like $13.4 million for civic engagement in Zimbabwe, $3.9 million for LGBTQ democracy grants in the Balkans, things like this. You guys say this about saving healthcare, but how do these pet projects fit in?
I'm just saying, who is Hakeem Jeffries looking at? Who is you looking at? He cutting his eyes at somebody like, you let these motherfuckers ask me this. He cutting his eyes at somebody.
Hear what you're talking about, or what Republican extremists fed you those talking points, but the reality is, what we are doing is defending the health care of the American people. Yeah, we do want to restore the fact that the largest cut to Medicaid in American history has been visited upon the American people by Donald Trump and Republicans, even though they promised to love and cherish Medicaid. But instead of doing that, they cut about $1 trillion from Medicaid. And as a result of that fact, hospitals, nursing homes, and community-based health centers are closing all across the country, including in Republican states like Georgia, like Alabama, and Republican states all across the country. And Republicans have visited the largest cut to Medicaid in American history on their own people. That's what we want to restore. We want to avoid the fact that because of what Republicans did in their one big ugly bill, what they did is to trigger the possibility of a $536 billion cut to Medicare, because Republicans have put a bullseye on Medicare and Social Security since those earned benefits were created. And yet we have a problem with the fact that Republicans want to devastate the Medicare of the American people. And why did they do that? Why did they cut Medicaid by almost $1 trillion? Because they want to reward their billionaire donors with massive tax breaks. And they made those massive tax breaks permanent, while at the same time can't even be bothered to extend Affordable Care Act tax credits for working class Americans who are about to experience dramatically increased premiums, co-pays, and deductibles. The American people know that Democrats are fighting for them, for working class America, for middle class America, and for everyday Americans, and that Republicans continue to show up for the wealthy, the well-off, and the well-connected.
All right, man. Let's see what Mike Johnson got to say. He didn't answer the question about the spending for Zimbabwe. He kind of deflected. He did deflect that question.
Who keep our skies safe. Really important stuff. In rural communities around the country, Republicans are working hand in hand with...
Let's see what Mike Johnson about to say, man. Mike Johnson, what you got to say, man? The government gonna stay shut down, man. You ain't gonna tell nobody to come back from vacation either. Let's see.
Hospitals to make sure that the $50 billion...
At the end of the day, I don't think either side really gives a fuck too much. I think they both still getting paid. Nobody's giving up their paychecks. Let's be real. Nobody's not getting paid. Like shit. Nobody. Everybody getting paid.
Rural.
I seen a clip of Bernie Sanders talking to was he talking to Charlemagne? That was like, yeah, these people aren't getting paid. He was like, why don't you tell lock them in the room or something, basically saying why don't they stop taking their checks. And he was like, some of these people are young and you know they have things they have to take care of. And then Charlemagne was like, shit, so do everybody else that's not getting a check right now. It's kind of crazy.
The Republicans got signed into law in July 4th is accessed. It reaches the people who need it. And they're doing that work while the Democrats are demanding to kill that essential fund that is in their counterproposal for the CR, one of the many outrageous things they claim they want to do. And everywhere across America right now, we're helping small business owners, and farmers, and ranchers, and service coordinators navigate frozen loans and delayed emergency funds and growing uncertainty about how to keep serving their communities. So all across the country, Republicans are dealing with the very real and painful consequences facing real Americans. Now, that's happening on the Republican side. And what's happening on the Democrat side? You can see it for yourself. Compare what I just told you with what they're doing. Look at their own behavior. Look at their actions. Don't listen to the words that people are saying. Look at what they're doing. Chuck Schumer and Democrats over the last 10 days, here's a small sample of their activity, okay? We've seen performative stunts and TikToks and photo shoots across every inch of this Capitol. We've seen Democrats actually toast themselves on the balcony of the DCCC last night, while their colleagues voted in the Senate to keep the government closed for the 10th time. We've seen not one but two failed publicity stunts right outside my own office, the latest of which ended in a congresswoman storming the entrance and berating a Capitol police officer who, by the way, is protecting her without pay. And last night, we even saw, I didn't see it, many of you saw it, CNN host the first socialist town hall, where Bernie Sanders and AOC said the quiet parts out loud. They don't know what they want to end the shutdown. They couldn't provide a single viable solution for the mess that they themselves have gleefully created. And by the way, those are the real leaders of the Democrat Party. We all know it. AOC and Bernie. Good luck with that. And amid all that, Chuck Schumer is acting...
Oh shit, Chad, this the damn old one, man. My ass done clicked the wrong one. My bad, Chad. I clicked the wrong damn one. I'm sitting here wondering what the hell is going on. Here we go. I was wondering what the hell is going on. Like, when he said that town hall, I'm like, man, hell no. We just watched that town hall over here. It's no way. Let me get to the right one. I don't pulled up the wrong shit. Actually, it was a playlist. That's why I went to the wrong one.
Arizona people here in the Bronxite News, Washington Bureau, but I'm originally from the Chicagoland area. I wanted to go to a state that...
to come out here every day, and the thing to point out, because that contrast between the two parties grows more glaring with each passing day. And you can look at all the evidence for yourself. There is, of course, a literal split screen every day. You've got Republicans and Democrats out all over the airwaves, burning them up, speaking directly to the American people. But you'll note that there's a key difference between the messages of the two sides. The Republicans are all repeating the same simple truth, and that is why that message is resonating with the American people, and that's what polling indicates. At the same time, on the other side, the Democrats are doing their very best to obscure and create distractions from that simple truth. So the reason that we find it important to come out here every day and repeat again the same simple truth is because they're trying so hard to cover that up. But there's also a figurative split screen. There's a literal one, but it's figurative as well. And I just wanted to spend a moment this morning and talk with you about that. On one side, you have the Republican Party, the party that controls the White House, the Senate, and the House. We call that unified government. It's the party that won the popular vote in every single swing state and made deep inroads with voters new to the Republican base. And we received that mandate gratefully, and we went immediately to work. So since the election in November, just in the last 9.5 months of this Congress, which began in January, Republicans have delivered incredible results for the American people. And we could stand up here and spend an hour going through just the bullet points and highlights of all that, but we put a few on the handy chart over here. But just think of what's been accomplished in the last 9.5 months. A couple of things listed here. We passed the historic Working Families Tax Cut, one of the most landmark pieces of legislation ever passed by the U.S. Congress for the benefit of the American people. We slashed taxes for hardworking Americans, geared for the lower and middle class earners who needed that assistance. We cut hundreds of billions of dollars in fraud, waste, and abuse from government. We solved the border crisis. We are working now to solve the crime crisis in major cities around America. We strengthened Medicaid. We improved healthcare access, and we lowered premiums with our legislation. We have restored peace through strength, thanks be to God, and we are ending wars around the globe. And we've restored common sense to a government that sorely needed it. That's part of the mandate that was given to us by the American people in the fall. And most recently, we did our jobs, and we passed a clean, nonpartisan CR.
Mike Johnson got a clip on TV outside of his office with a clip on repeat of one of the Democrat, I forgot what position she holds, but she's a lady talking about the government shutdown is the only cards that they hold, basically. And he just pulled the TV in front of his office and just has that clip playing on repeat.
Keep the government open for the people. Now look on the other side of that figurative split screen as demonstrated here. The lights are out. It's all dark. Why? Because what the Democrats have accomplished in 9.5 months is a government shutdown. A couple other things sort of related to that. You know, they have made a lot of TikTok videos. We'll give them credit for that. They've also assaulted law enforcement officers. One of them's on trial for that. They've openly embraced and rallied with communists and socialists, most recently across the country on Saturday. They voted to raise taxes on millions of hardworking Americans at the worst possible time. They have voted against reducing fraud, waste, and abuse in government, and they have now voted, collectively, Democrats in Congress have voted 12 times to keep the government closed down. But it doesn't stop there. The Democrat shutdown is a glaring example of just how far the Democratic Party has strayed from common sense. But remember the simple truth here. It was over a month ago now that we passed, the Republicans passed the clean, short-term, continuing resolution. It's nonpartisan. No gimmicks, no tricks, no riders, no partisan Republican policy priorities added to that. It's 24 pages in length, as we've discussed so many times, and it is very, very simple. Why? Because it was a very simple good faith effort on our part to preserve our ability to keep negotiating on the full year funding bills. And of course the other big issues facing the American people. So we wanted to keep the lights on. But what did the Democrats do? Instead of receiving that, voting for it as they have always done in the past, they broke from history and they rejected that. And they offered a counterproposal. Ours was a clean CR. We call theirs a dirty CR, and you all know why. Because they added $1.5 trillion in new spending that would be a mandate, including hundreds of billions of taxpayer dollars for health care for illegal aliens. Go to page 57, section 2141 of what they filed. They want to restore funding for left-wing pet projects in foreign countries. And I've given you a list of some of the crazy things that they would include in that. $500 million for liberal news outlets like NPR and PBS on the backs of taxpayers, and the removal. Remember, they wanted to eliminate the $50 billion that Republicans got signed into law by President Trump on July 4th to prop up our rural hospitals. And here's the kicker. The Democrats can't even agree on what they want right now. If you polled congressional Democrats on what it would take to reopen the government, you would not get a uniform answer. Every reporter in the room, by the way, should be asking them that question. Democrats put together this haphazard grab bag of crazy leftist policy.
Thank you, Jack, for the donation. Y'all get Jack some likes on that donation. Thank you, Jack, for your support.
When they knew that it would not be agreed upon, and they knew that it was clear. The Republicans were working to do the responsible thing and offer a clean CR to fund the government. That's our most basic job here. In their desperation now, they're trying their very best to somehow blame Republicans for the forthcoming health care crisis that they themselves created. By way of just very quick review, for the record, because they're trying to obscure this as well. Let's remember the true origins of the boondoggle that is American health care under Obamacare. Democrats wrote that bill. They passed it into law without a single Republican vote. During the COVID pandemic, Democrats created temporary Obamacare credits, again, without a single Republican vote. Democrats then voted to extend those credits. They set the expiration date on it. And then when they held the majority in the Senate, it was Democrats who chose not to extend those credits beyond this year. Now, as we approach their own self-imposed expiration date, now they are breathlessly insisting to you, and on all the interviews, that somehow it's a Republican crisis. Give me a break. The facts are the facts. We are up here sharing the simple facts and truth. As John Adams said, facts are stubborn things. Democrats are the ones who manufactured this entire situation without a single Republican vote, and now, when the chickens are coming back home to roost, they're trying to blame the other team. It is utter nonsense, and you should call them on it. That's the job of the press, and continue to do that every single time. Clearly, this is a complicated issue, this whole healthcare subsidy thing, and there's hundreds of different views on it, as I've explained. So Republicans cannot and will not solve it in a backroom deal. Chuck Schumer has been suggesting that 4 leaders should go into a smoke-filled back room like they used to do in the old days and create this solution. It's not a possible thing to do. It was never appropriate. It's not possible to put on a continuing resolution because it's such a complex issue. Issues of this magnitude deserve deep thought and deliberation. That's how this system works here. And as soon as Chuck Schumer reopens the government, all of our members will have an opportunity to engage in the very important discussion of how to make Obamacare affordable. But we won't engage in Democrats' hostage taking, nor will we pay a ransom. We certainly won't engage in their unserious proposals as long as Democrats continue to act like unserious lawmakers. I'm just going to say this morning, enough is enough. And with us today with the leadership team are 2 leaders in Congress. One is Chairman Bruce Westerman of the Committee on Natural Resources. And we also have with us Congressman Mike Simpson, who's our lead appropriator for the Department of the Interior, which funds and oversees our beautiful national parks. Both are here today to share an update on how this shutdown impacts all those operations, but I'll note, as I bring Chairman Westerman up first, that when President Obama shut down the national parks and the National Mall in 2013, it was a real hardship for the American people, and the Trump administration is trying to handle this differently. They've gone to great lengths as much as they can to protect Americans' access to our national parks, while Democrats continue to hold government funding hostage. They'll have more to share on that, the experts on the subject, and I'm happy to bring them up now. Thank both these gentlemen for their hard work. I'll turn it over to Chairman Westerman.
Thank you, Speaker, and good morning, everyone. First off, I want to say thank you to the thousands of federal employees across the country that are still in the field, going to work every day, oftentimes without pay, to do their jobs.
We will not cave to their wasteful spending. We will hold the line, and we will. I promise you, we will continue to work for the men and women and families who serve, protect, and build our great nation. Thank you.
Questions? Chad, go ahead.
Good morning, thank you.
Sir.
Can you characterize some of the dissonance inside your conference about the strategy that Republicans have? There was some criticism on the call yesterday saying that this shutdown strategy is old and Republicans need to have a new tack.
That was the word that was used. There was one member of the Republican conference. These are supposed to be, confidential off-the-record calls among colleagues, but some of you guys listen in, and I make a pleading at the beginning of every call that you wouldn't do that and wouldn't characterize it, but whoever the leak is, whatever. Beth Van Dyne was quoted. Beth is a dear friend. We've had lots of conversations about this. She was not complaining. It was not dissonance, Chad. She was pointing out that we have a lot of important work to do before the end of the year, and it was a very pleasant, constructive comment about strategy. You all have heard me say from the podium a few times, we're not pursuing a political strategy here. We're not. We're just simply trying to get the government open, and that's why the nonpartisan Clean CR was the obvious vehicle to do that. And so we're not making political calculations here. We're making calculations on behalf of the American people. How can we get the government operating as soon as possible so they can get all these vital services and paychecks restored? And that's what this is about. So, I mean, if you called each individual House Republican right now.
Oh yeah, how do y'all feel about Mike Johnson not swearing in their representative from Arizona? Do y'all agree or disagree with Mike Johnson not swearing in their representative from Arizona?
100%, probably 99.8%, okay, of every House Republican understands exactly why we're in the situation we're in. Are we all anxious to get back to work here for regular legislative session? Absolutely.
She wanted the House to come back with this.
No, that's not what she said. If you had listened in directly on the phone, you would know. You can ask her about it. No, she said the message is feeling old, and I said, you know what, Beth, you're right, because we come out here and say the same thing over and over every day, but there is a method to that madness, because as I explained in my comments here, we have to repeat the simple truth over and over. Why? Because the Democrats are in an all-out assault on the truth. They're trying to obscure and distract, and you see all the different shiny objects they're trying to make everyone look at every day. I will tell you that the best evidence I have for you this morning, so that you know that the Democrats caused this shutdown, is because if the Republicans were responsible for this shutdown, that would lead the news in every mainstream media outlet every single night. It would be top fold of every newspaper on the front page every single day. Some of the mainstream media outlets aren't even covering it right now. Why? Because they're trying to give cover to the Democrats have caused this. I mean, look, everybody knows the facts. The American people are not stupid. And we're in here every day appealing to their common sense and relaying the facts. And thankfully, those facts are saturated.
Mr. Speaker, I do want to point out that the shutdown's led the Today Show for about the last 2 weeks.
Oh, good. Thank you for that. Okay, thank you, Today Show.
Make sure you're clear about that. Secondarily, some of your Republican colleagues have raised concerns about the Trump administration opening up the market to Argentinian beef farmers, saying that it could prioritize them over American beef farmers. What do you say to your Republican colleagues about that move by the administration, and what are you doing as a Republican Congress to help American farmers, beef farmers in particular?
Well, we're doing a lot of work. We had some discussion on that yesterday, and I don't know the latest developments, but I can tell you there have been some over the last 24 hours. Harriet Hageman is one of the members of Congress from Wyoming, and she has lots of cattle ranchers and was articulating some of their thoughts and ideas, and she was connected to USTR and to the White House, and they're having those thoughtful discussions. The White House doesn't want any unintended consequences. What they're trying to do is improve the lives of everyday Americans, make our economy work again, and make sure that we are treated fairly by trading partners around the world. And there's lots of complications and a lot of moving parts when you're talking about trade agreements, renegotiating old trade agreements between, over 100 nations all at once. But they've done an extraordinary job, and they're working to fine-tune all those details, and you haven't had to direct specific questions about it to the White House, because I don't really know. Yes, ma'am.
Leader Thune said it's time for the House to start thinking about coming back and passing a longer-term CR. How long should the next CR go until we should be open to a year-long CR?
No, I'm not sure that's what he said. I mean, he and I visited yesterday for about an hour, and Leader Thune and I are 100% aligned on all of this, as we are with the President. In fact, Leader Thune and I spent some time with the President on the phone yesterday about all this, and I was with the President in the White House the night before for a couple hours. What we're talking about is that obviously the calendar is being eaten up by all this political nonsense by the Democrats, and I used the word, it's getting a little dicey in here yesterday. Some of you quoted, Chad quoted me, I saw it this morning. I don't know how else to describe it. Look, we're running out of time to do very important, necessary things. And as Mike Simpson, Chairman Simpson, pointed out here earlier, as one of the lead appropriators, chairman of one of those subcommittees, he noted that the date of November 21 was decided upon by the experts in the field, the appropriators themselves, in a bipartisan agreement. They agreed they needed 7 more weeks. Some people, as Chairman Simpson noted, some people wanted the CR to go all the way into the middle of next year, and there was all sorts of varying opinions. But the Republicans and Democrats on the Appropriations Committee came together and agreed on that appropriate date, but it was calculated to allow enough time to finish the job. I think all of them, when they decided upon that date, were in good faith, and they said, and the Democrats said to us, please make it clean, please don't add Republican priorities, because then we can get the job done. We did exactly that. We have been in good faith every single day on this, and they are eating up the clock. So we're getting closer to November. It is going to be more and more difficult with each passing hour to get all the appropriations done on time. We acknowledge that, but we have to decide this on a day-by-day basis.
Last question.
Yes, ma'am. Second row, right?
How comfortable are you with the president apparently seeking $230 million from the Department of Justice?
I don't know the details about that. I've just read it. I didn't talk with him about that. I know that he believes he's owed that reimbursement. What I heard yesterday was if he receives it, he was going to consider giving it to charity. I mean, he doesn't need those proceeds, but we're for the rule of law. We're for what is just and right, and it's just absurd that, I mean, as has been noted here several times this morning, they attack him for everything he does. It doesn't matter what it is. This whole dust-up about the White House, just by way of quick review, because I'm an amateur historian, you'll understand, the White House has been renovated many times over the years, you understand. I mean, it was built between 1792 and 1800, right? The British burned it down practically in 1814, and then they rebuilt it in the early 1820s. And ever since, like, we've had many presidents renovate and add things to the White House. Teddy Roosevelt built the whole West Wing. Who was it? FDR, Taft, I think, added the Oval Office. FDR made additions. I mean, Truman put ripped everything up to put a bowling alley in. FDR had added the swimming pool, I think. Barack Obama added a basketball court. President Trump's going to add the greatest improvement to the White House in the history of the building since it was originally constructed in 1800. The ballroom is going to be glorious. It's going to be used for everybody. And by the way, hey, Democrats, if you win the White House back, you get to use it too. This is for the American people, and he's using private funds to do it. How in the world could they oppose that? The only logical reason is because they have Trump derangement syndrome, and that's what explains a lot of this. Two things. They want to oppose the president, and Chuck Schumer and Hakeem Jeffries are scared that they're going to lose their jobs. We all know that. I've said it over and over. It is an objective fact, and you can see it themselves. I wish that you guys would chase them down and call them up and ask them what it is they're demanding. This madness in the counterproposal, what I told you about, is the offer still on the table? They can't even articulate what they want. You know why? Because this was never about a solution on healthcare or anything else. This was about a spectacle. It was about a political distraction, and it was so that they could show a fight to the Marxist left in the Democratic Party. Look at the split screen. I'll leave you with that. Thanks so much.
Mike Johnson getting up out of there. Yeah, he didn't talk that much. It was all these other people. I don't know these guys and gals. Yeah, we watched that part. Alright, chat, I'm gonna open up the phone lines, man. I'm gonna take a couple calls before we get up out of here, man. I'm gonna take a couple calls before we get up out of here. Alright, chat. The phone line's open. Double tap the screen, shut a live out. We are still 25 subscribers away from the next sub goal, man. If anybody wants to call in, the phone number is pinned. But yeah, man, chat, I don't know, man. Hopefully they get the government open. I don't think they'll get it open before. Maybe they'll get it open by the 1st, but I don't think it happens before the 1st. Yeah, I don't think it happens before the 1st.
Dorsey.
What it do?
What's up, plug?
Cut the volume down in the back. Alright. Go ahead. What it do? What it do?
Hey, I tell you what, y'all fuck around, there don't be no money on my EBT. I'm sign up as a motherfucking DoorDash driver, and I'm eating all y'all shit. I'm eating y'all fries, I'm sucking up your soul. You can report me all the fuck you want. I got 14 phones, so I'm gonna apply 14 times. So y'all fuck around and not let me get my money.
Yeah.
I'm signing up for Grubhub, all that shit. We gonna eat all y'all shit for pizza with 2 slices in the box. Get all y'all shit. Don't let me not get my money. That's for that. That's for that. The other thing, Trump done pulled another slick one. Him and Putin knew they wasn't gonna meet with that bullshit. See, Zelensky is having patience, but his patience is running thin.
What the fuck can he do with some thin patience?
Huh?
What's Zelensky gonna do with some thin patience?
Man, Zelensky ain't playing that shit no more, man.
He just
Russia
said
ain't doing too good. Russia ain't doing too good. Russia on his last leg.
Man, Zelensky, Trump just said Zelensky can't have them tomahawks, man.
Hey, man, we don't need to fuck them tomahawks. We'll get them EU. We'll get them EU missiles. Oh, he's talking about that long range shit. Well, the tomahawk has a range from here, from Dallas to California, right?
Okay.
But they don't realize if Zelensky gets some of them damn subs out of mothball and send them motherfuckers up there to the Arctic Circle, that shit only have a range of 800 miles. He can pop a few motherfucking cords.
Whoever that was that just called in, I'll call y'all back in a minute. I don't know who that is. Go ahead, though, Doris.
Something they want to call. Anyway, like I said, the man is trying to stay within the conventions of the Geneva Conference.
Right.
But y'all keep pushing that man. That man gonna start doing dirty tactics. Trump playing that bullshit. Okay. Now, if it was me, man, just Dorsey. Man, I'd get some of them drones, put some goddamn plutonium in the motherfuckers, and I would scatter that shit all through Moscow. It ain't a bomb, but plutonium kill motherfuckers if you inhale that shit. Hey, if motherfuckers want to play that type of game, hey, we get down and dirty. That's just how it is. Then I dare Russia to do something about that shit. See what I'm saying? Little dog can do whatever it wants. Big dog is the one that's got the reputation that he got to keep. So, like I said, y'all keep on playing them games with Zelensky and see what that motherfucker do on y'all. I'm just saying, Trump think that shit funny. That shit ain't funny. So then, as far as Mike Johnson with his little lying ass, I ain't never seen a man lie so much. I thought motherfucking Mitch McConnell was a liar. But Mike Johnson, his little monkey ass, just tell them lies to just run. He don't even wait for no questions.
What he was lying about? What he was lying about?
Man, the Democrats did not ask for him to pay for no goddamn immigrants' health care now. Come on.
He named the section in the page. Have you looked at the section in the page that he named?
On the budget? On the proposal?
Yeah, he named on the proposal that they sent back over, the Democrats, that counter proposal, he named the section and the page to where they was asking for the money for the illegal health care. He named it. I haven't looked at it. I'm asking you, have you looked at it to say he lying?
He a damn liar.
How you gonna call
How you gonna find some shit that don't exist?
He said on their proposed bill.
Shit. How you gonna see a nigga? See, that's how a motherfucker always lie. Oh, did you? And then when you go look for that shit ain't even in there. And then he gonna come and make up some other motherfucking lie. See, I know that shit. You see, Dorsey ain't no goddamn fool. Dorsey been in these streets, and Dorsey knows somebody who's trying to bullshit somebody. See, if it really was in there, he would show that shit a copy right there, highlight that shit. See, that's what the Democrats had right here in writing. That would be the nail in the coffin. See, that's what the Republicans do. They always tell some old fictitious shit, and don't nobody ever call them on their shit. Now, as far as, what's his name, Hakeem Jeffrey, is that his name? He weak. And all that shoving of the hands like he doing sign language and shit, that shit don't impress nobody. He don't know how to do it like Obama. Obama knew how to do that shit crisp. You know what I'm saying? Obama knew how to shake that shit, and you be like, damn, Obama, go ahead. But Jeffrey, he just throwing his shit out like he gay or something and shit. I'm like, man, get your ass down. I think Cory Booker is a better damn speaker than him. At least Cory Booker looked like he believes the shit coming out of his mouth. You know what I'm saying? Jeffrey, I don't know, man. Democrats, Chuck Schumer weak, team is weak. Only one who got some fire is Jasmine, and they won't even let her play in the game. Like she should do her Kemp Sanders or some motherfucking body. Let her get up to the podium no more. So, I mean, that's how I feel about it. As far as with Elon Musk and Doge and all that shit, wasn't the whole purpose of Doge was to keep us from giving out motherfucking aid to unnecessarily? Why the fuck did Argentina get $80 billion? Motherfucker could have put that on by reparations. Black folks have 80 billion.
They didn't get 80 billion. They didn't get 80 billion. They didn't get 80 billion.
How much they get?
They got 20 billion with a possible 20 billion extra if he wins the election.
Hey, man, give me my 20 billion shit. I'll take, I think that'll come out to $15,000 a piece. I need my $15,000. You know, he giving away our money talking about, oh, well, America first. Where? We ain't got shit yet. When them checks he said he was going to send us. Did you ever get them checks? Check in the mail yet?
No. I ain't got no check.
Hey, see, look, I hear you a little heartbreaking now. No, I ain't get that shit. You was counting on that shit, too. I was, too.
I'm looking for the damn bill that you talking about. I done found a couple of them, but I'm not trying to play this clip because I don't know what page he said.
Yeah, so
I got the bill. I got the bill. No, I'm just saying I got the bill right here. What he's talking about. I got what he's talking about right here.
What article is it? You know what section?
I don't know. Hell, I'm just saying, I asked you, had you read it, because you said he was lying, and you said it wasn't out and shit.
You can't read something that ain't there, bro.
I'm just saying, I just pulled it up. It's here.
Okay, where is it?
Hell, I'll send it to you on the back end.
All right, see, you sound like a Republican over here.
I'm just saying, I pulled it up, dude. I done clicked on 3-4 different pages. It's 3-4 different places you can find it. That's what I'm saying.
Okay.
All I typed in was Democrat proposed bill.
And it said immigrants supposed to get some health care.
Dorsey, I just said I have to go back and see what section. Mike Johnson just named the page and the section that he said that's referring to the immigrant health care. I asked you. That's what I'm saying. No, Dorsey. That's why people come over here and say that we just be talking and don't do our research, and that's why. So before I let you just get off saying that they lying and it ain't there, I wanted to go look and make sure it wasn't there, and it's there. It's there a lot of places.
Do your due diligence, plug. So
they call me fake news and all of that shit because of people calling in doing that. That's what I'm saying.
Yeah, but see, they can't motherfucker. See, understand this. Everybody who been dealing with plug, from Lala to Carlos to V, I'm glad you back, baby. I missed you. Anyway, everybody know that you're a straight shooter, plug. We the politically homeless here. We ain't got time to be bullshit. My whole thing is, if it exists, you'll find it. But if you don't find that shit, I want to hear that shit too. The motherfucker pulled the fast one on me. had me staying up late at night trying to research shit that didn't exist. That's only fair, plug. So, like I said, I don't believe shit the Republicans got to say. He didn't swear in that lady from Arizona because he know that lady will be the one vote that'll motherfucking get their ass them Epstein files released. He know what time it is. He know what game they playing. And the Republicans been playing this bullshit ass game for the last
here it go
30
right
years.
here. Here it go right here.
Okay, let me hear
Subtitle E over health provision, section 2142, permanent extension of enhanced tax credit.
To who?
It's an enhanced. They saying that they already getting it, so it's enhanced. They're trying to keep
It's
it
a
going.
tax credit.
Permanent.
So illegal immigrants don't even fill out taxes, plug.
Dorsey, I don't think you understand what they're
Understand
doing.
what a tax credit is?
Yes, but the tax credit is not for the immigrants. It's for the people giving the immigrants the care. It's not going into their pocket. It's going into whoever helps them out pocket. Whoever takes care of them. If they go to the hospital, emergency room, ER. You know what I'm saying? That's
so
what
the hospital
tax.
get the money.
Yes. Do you ever get the money? Do you get your tax credit money for health care? Do you get a health care tax credit in your pocket?
Hell no.
Exactly. So why would it's obviously going to the facility or the state or the, you know what I'm saying? That it's obviously going to, who it needs to go to.
Well, I think that's fair. Shit, what you think? We gonna take care of these motherfuckers for free?
I don't
Sending
know.
money out to Argentina?
It say about half is paid back, man. Look, that's all I'm gonna say is if they go to if anybody go to the emergency room, they're gonna be seen. I'm just saying the tax credit. This is, y'all told me to read it right here. It just says permanent extension of enhanced tax credit, and I'm not a Republican, but that's what Mike Johnson said. They trying to extend it. And when they asking about breaking it down, all I'm gonna say is this, cause the verbiage is there where you're gonna have to go find the other documents. Subtitle B of Section 7 of the Act titled on Act to Provide Reconciliation pursuant of Title 2 of H. Con Resolution 14, Public Law 11921 is repealed by any law or regulation referred. See, I could read all of that, but what help is that gonna make? So I just read the title, Permanent Extension of Enhanced Tax Credit. But look, Dorsey, I got somebody calling in. Let me see who this is.
Yeah, but okay, before I leave though,
hold on, Dorsey.
Permanent enhancement tax credit. That means that's going to the American people.
All right, Dorsey. All right, Dorsey.
All right, I'm gonna let you slide on this one.
You ain't let me slide on nothing, nigga.
Yes, I am.
You can't let me slide. I'm grown, and you ain't none of my parents. You can't let me slide on nothing. All right, Dorsey.
You know what?
See, that's sometimes you just gotta keep pushing on Dorsey. What's up, caller? What's your name? Where you calling from?
What's up, man? It's Chris from New York.
What's up, Chris?
Shit, man. How you doing tonight, brother?
Shit, I'm doing all right. How you feeling about tonight's topic?
Man, just so much division, man. So much division.
My whole thing was this. My whole thing with Dorsey is that he said the document wasn't out, and then I couldn't go find it. That's where it was. Then hold on, Chris. Then he moved the goalpost and tried to make it about it not being about illegal aliens. Then he moved the goalpost again and made it about the verbiage. It all started with him just saying that it's not out there, you can't look for it. He got you looking for something you can't look for. And I just quickly looked it up. So that was my whole point of even looking it up, to make sure it wasn't out there actually. Go ahead though.
Where did you find that? Because I was looking at it myself, and all I can find is it's literally illegal. It's been on the bill since '96 that you cannot give anybody that's illegal any Medicaid or anything. I mean, other than the one thing is if somebody comes to an emergency room.
Correct.
And if they're going to be dying, then it doesn't matter. Nobody's going to check their insurance first. You're going to save that human's life. Other than that,
I'm not
one
saying
thing,
it's not a talking point. I'm not saying it's not a talking point, but when Democrats saying it's not happening, it is happening. Yes, it's happening under those extreme circumstances, but it is happening. So I think the verbiage needs to change, probably on both sides.
okay, yeah, I'll absolutely concede to that 100%. Yeah. As far as that one specific situation, as far as people going into emergency rooms when they need to either be saved or not, like literally to live or die, that absolutely will happen sometimes. It's mostly just Americans that pay taxes and already have insurance. But yeah, that one thing is happening. But there's not actually like illegals just getting health insurance though, or benefits, or EBT, or anything like that. I think.
Okay. I don't know. It's kind of hard to believe. It's just crazy because, like, I wouldn't have believed it maybe this time last year, but it's like now I see illegals getting CDLs, getting houses. Like, I just watched the interview with two illegals. They got a house. They like 120K in debt with a house. I seen in Arizona they just had like 10,000 illegals on the voter registration roll. Who is the guy? Stephen Miller found a suit against them.
There's no illegals on voter registration.
Yes, they are. They're. I'm telling you, I will pull this motherfucker up, boy. Hold on.
I know. Yeah, I'm curious. Yeah, please, because if that's a thing, I would like to know it. I'm curious where you're reading that.
Yeah. What's the dude named Stephen Miller is the one that pushed it through.
Stephen Miller pushed illegals to have.
He pushed it through to make Arizona show proof of citizenship.
Oh, that's different. Yeah, pretty much everybody has to show that they live there and they actually are.
A 2025 report clarified that around 49,000 voters lack verified citizenship for state election. Hold on, September. I'm trying to find the actual article though, because Mike Johnson just went on CNN talking. I mean, not Mike Johnson. Stephen Miller just went on CNN talking about it last week or week before last.
Yeah, and that's Stephen Miller. I mean, I would believe something he said if I could check it first. But that's one man, just like Mike Johnson, which that man lies far more than he ever speaks facts that ever come out of his mouth. I mean, I've looked at this thing many times. Like, there's like ridiculous misleading claims about like widespread non-citizens voting that have been debunked over and over and over again. If this is a new thing that I'm not aware of, I'm not saying it's not possible, but I'm not aware of it, and I absolutely do know it's completely illegal federally in every state.
Yeah, it should have been. It should.
I don't support that, and neither does any other Democrat.
Here you go, right here. All right, this is from 2004.
2004? Is that what you said?
Yeah, this article right here is from 2004. It said nearly 98,000 people whose citizen documents hadn't been confirmed can vote, and that was Supreme Court. The Arizona Supreme Court pushed that through.
I honestly don't know where to reason that from. That did say not confirmed. It didn't say illegal people. I'm just going from the words you gave me. I'm not reading the same thing you are. I'm just listening to what you're saying.
Yeah, I'm trying not to play a clip right now. I could play some clips, but I just wasn't trying to play the clip. I got you though. Hold on.
Yeah, no worries. I mean, I'm not trying to argue, man. I just want us all to have good conversation and, have multiple sides and, we're all just so much more alike than we're all different, man. Everybody's trying to divide us, and I hate that shit.
Mm-hmm. So how do you feel about Trump and Zelensky while I pull this up?
As far as Trump and Zelensky, Zelensky is apparently the head of his country, it's basically his responsibility right now to be in charge of basically what we would have as our commander-in-chief, as Trump technically is right now, to, defend his country. And they've been invaded by a neighbor trying to take their land, which they've been trying to do for decades. I'm not used to it, but it's still horrible. I mean, he's defending he's defending himself and his people. That's my opinion on that. As far as Trump, I don't think he gives a fuck. I think he just uses any of it as for political capital. He's been used by Putin for years, and I think he's finally realizing that to an extent. I still think he's a complete narcissist, but he's definitely been saying a few things recently that would indicate that he doesn't think that like Putin's is like best buddy type thing, and that they're actually like buddies, because sociopaths, psychopaths don't actually have friends. You know, when you surround yourself by yes men and loyalists, you really don't understand reality. So that's where Trump's been for probably 5 years now. Well, it's not longer, but completely for like 5 years probably. Yeah, I don't know, man. It's messed up. I wish Russia never invaded Ukraine. That shit's messed up. They probably could have made some type of deal because, you know, I understand that Russia wants access to the Black Sea, but they want access to the water and to have some ports because they're landlocked. That's understandable, but you don't have to kill your neighbors. Get something you want. You can negotiate. You can be friends. Like we're at least we fucking used to be with Canada and Mexico, and now we basically made all of our neighbors hate us and be afraid of us, which I hate that because the majority of the country does not want that and didn't want that the whole time. But I'm sorry, man. I've been rambling for like 2 minutes right there, man. So I'm sorry, man.
No, you good, man. They said Fox News retract that claim about the illegal aliens. I mean the illegals voting over there. They said it's 50,000 registered voters classified as federal only. They have not submitted documentary proof of citizenship, such as birth certificate or passport, which is required to vote. These individuals are still allowed to vote in federal elections after attesting to their citizenship under penalty of perjury. Then it led me to this link to where in California you can when you register to vote, you just click a bubble. But yeah, they say Fox did pull that back though.
Okay, good. So Fox said that they lied about it, is what you're saying?
They're saying that they mischaracterized it. They're not, I guess, and so they don't get hit with a lawsuit. They're not saying they lied. They're saying they mischaracterized.
They're not going to say they lied. They did lie, obviously, but they're not going to say they lied, just like they've gotten away with 1,000 other ones.
So what they are saying is that these people are on federal-only rolls. They're on federal-only rolls.
Yeah, I'm not sure what that means precisely, but I do know there's been laws since '96 that says illegals absolutely cannot vote, cannot get any federal benefits, period. Like, anywhere, period. That's been on the law. It's precedent. So any law that would try to be made, like now, literally couldn't legally be made without going back and taking that law off the books. Very hard to do.
Okay. I had another question. I had another question for you. What was it about? We did the Mike Johnson. Oh, Hakeem Jeffries. We watched the Hakeem Jeffries. How do you feel about were you here for that, the Hakeem Jeffries?
No, I wasn't. I had seen a couple clips of it. I've been crazy busy this last week, this weekend and the last week, so I haven't really got to put in as much time as I'd like on some stuff. But yeah, I've seen him speak some.
He was talking
I'm not a big
today.
Fan, but I'm not against it either. If that makes any, if that helps.
Right. So you know they arrested the pardon January 6th that was supposedly threatening his life. Threatening Hakeem Jeffries' life.
Say that one more time.
It was one of the January 6th that had got pardoned. He got arrested again for, I believe, making threats to Hakeem Jeffries.
Okay.
And that's what he was talking about. So Hakeem Jeffries was at the press conference like, yeah, to all you extremists, you better watch how you talk when you talking about me. I'm like, all right, Hakeem Jeffries.
Well, I mean, if he got arrested, that was probably, if we're making threats, it sounds probably, unless he did something physically that actually had cops catch him last minute, that sounds like Trump's FBI and Cash Patel catching him before it happened. So, like, I would say that to anybody. Like, people should be scared right now to say anything too sensitive about anybody because, like, what would we have? We had a guy, we had literally a dude that posted up a meme on Facebook of Charlie Kirk's own words, and he got arrested for terrorism, and he has a $2 million bond right now.
Terror,
$2
million bond
of Charlie Kirk's own fucking words, bro. Like, that's insane.
I ain't heard about that story.
Yeah. You heard about the citizens that have been kidnapped by ICE and deported to other countries and detained for days and days and tortured and shit?
Yeah, I heard about like it's been like
crazy things going on, dude.
I heard it's like 170 of those, and then I seen we covered a story earlier.
Shouldn't be one. There shouldn't be one.
Yeah, there shouldn't. There was a story earlier about a guy Biden had turned around at the border, came back in. He got a CDL out of Cali, and he just drunk driving at a big rig today and drove straight through 3 cars.
I mean, nobody's supporting anybody that's doing crazy shit like that. If somebody let him back through during the Biden administration, I mean, I'm not going to blame Biden for it. I mean, you could probably blame whoever let him back through if somebody did do that. But that's still one person and one person's action.
No, it's more what it is for me.
I'm just saying it's one person though.
What it is for me is it's the CDLs. It's like the CDLs, giving CDLs out with no name given. Those things are crazy to me. Those shouldn't be going on in any state in America.
I mean, you ever try to get your CDL? It ain't easy.
No, I understand that, but with no name given. Like, you know, like the names on these IDs, some of them say no name given. A lot of them, actually. It's been dozens.
I honestly, I've never heard of that. I can't imagine that being a thing, that a state would give you a license with a CDL classification that would just say no name. Like, that doesn't, that just doesn't register.
That's what I thought. That's what I said.
Like what happens if a cop pulls you over?
Here it goes.
I don't think a DMV would do that.
No, they.
I'm sorry. I'm not calling you a liar on this, but have you actually seen this?
Yeah, I'm pulling it up for you. Hold on.
I've never even heard of that. That sounds crazy to me. So
here you go.
Actually seen real evidence from a legit source. I'll take your word for it.
They go to it's everywhere. They all coming out of California and New York.
I've never heard of that.
Can you see my screen?
Let me see if I can go on there without it fucking up. Yeah, I'm a few seconds back.
Okay, it'll be pulling up in a second.
Yeah, I'm just gonna turn the YouTube back off. It just had me backwards.
All right.
I was like a minute behind or something. But did you actually find that though? That's like a legit source. You find that that's actually happening. There's literally licenses that say no name.
Yeah. It's they're catching a lot of them at Oklahoma. They caught a guy in Arkansas with one. But they're all coming out of New York and California.
I mean, hey, if you say so. I haven't heard that. I mean, I haven't.
No, I mean it's everywhere. It's the Blaze, Fox News, NYNBC, The Blaze, Fox News, NTD, Pix11, Daily Mail, Lead Stories, Yahoo, News 9, Financial Express. It's everywhere.
Yeah, I don't listen to all those. I mean, I'm more into like independent people that show lots of different things, and I do still watch them sometimes.
Yeah, no, I'm just saying this is where I
watch most of the time just because they're so bad and just lie so much, like Fox or Newsmax type people. But I do still watch sometimes just to see what they're saying, just to see if they're maybe coming back to reality type thing.
All right, here goes from Homeland Security. This article's from Homeland Security with the picture.
Oh, it's coming from Trump's administration?
This is straight from Homeland Security right here.
Yeah, dude, I'm sorry, but that's going to be very difficult for me to believe. We've watched this. I mean, I didn't really want to call it an administration. It's more of an illegal regime. It's completely unconstitutional. They've just lied every day, all day long, to the news, to everybody. They don't even want to call on certain press corps anymore. They won't even let them in. and the Pentagon just got rid of them too. The Pentagon don't even let president there anymore. Like, they don't want anybody to know what's going on, really. They're only letting loyalists come in that before they even answer any question, they're like, "Oh, Mr. Trump, we are so thankful for you've been like the best president ever. We want to like get on our knees and like please you. But before we do that, let's ask you a question. How you've done so good at this, that, and that, and that. And then here's a question that you've had prepared. And why don't you give us some propaganda to repeat? That's how the shit's been going, dude.
Yeah, it is getting crazy on both sides, man. I just a lot of people.
Okay. The both sides argument. I'm not a big fan of Democrats, man. Democrats fucking suck.
Yeah.
But they're not completely fucking insane right now. They're not going against the Constitution right now.
I mean,
they're not sending mass men to
they're
cities
not going
to
against
terrorize
the Constitution. They're not, but they are a little. They do got
let
a lot
me ask
going
you.
on.
Yeah, you remember how Trump called all of Antifa terrorists?
Yeah, hell yeah.
So that means everybody that fought in World War II against the Nazis are terrorists.
Right, and he called everybody that went to the No Kings protest, what is it, anti-American?
And you know what, dude? I wasn't out there myself. I'm not gonna lie about it. I wasn't. But you know what? The genius thing that they did, bro. They fought the crazy people with violence, with the violent people with silliness, bro. They put on costumes that would make most people just laugh, and like, you can't pretend that those people in those blown up costumes are attacking you and being violent. And that shit was genius. And now, instead of the whole entire thing, like the entire narrative they tried to sell before that, as far as, oh, they're all violent terrorists, they're Antifa terrorists, blah, blah, fucking blah. I thought there was going to be a bunch of ICE and feds out, like, arresting everybody. I'm glad I was wrong about that. But now they're just saying, oh, it didn't work. They're not trying to sell the same lie they tried 3 days ago, because that lie didn't work. So now they're trying a new one. Oh, the protest didn't work, even though more people showed up out in the streets than ever before for fucking anything else. So they're scared, and they're lying every day. Just what's coming out, man. I mean, we're seeing it. I mean, there's nothing that they can say that they can ever prove or put evidence behind. They're literally blowing up boats in international waters that aren't our waters, that we have no rights to do anything in, and saying, oh, those were drug dealers. They were going to bring drugs here. Well, let's just fucking murder them. Like, and then when they don't kill everybody, what do? Pick a few people up and bring them back to their country because what? Oh, they were dangerous drug dealing terrorists, right? Like, come on, man. They get caught in lies every day, and they're crazy, insane, big lies. They're not just tiny ass lies. It's like, it's so difficult to trust them at all, man. And I personally, I feel like 90% of this country at this point, or at least 75.
No, most definitely, man. Well, we finna get up out of here, Chris, man. We'll be back tomorrow.
Yeah, dude, it's getting late, too, man. It's 2 o'clock here, man. I gotta get to sleep. I gotta get up in the morning anyway. But
yeah.
I appreciate you taking the call and calling me back when I tried the first time when Dorsey called in. I appreciate that. Yeah, man. You guys all have a great night, man. Everybody in the chat, up to everyone. Democrats don't want to take your guns. We all want them to. Everybody's straight, man. Let's just get along. Don't listen to the fascists that got billions of dollars that fucking don't care about any of us. We're all much more alike. We can all get along. Everything can be okay. We just gotta trust each other and not trust the lies of people that don't want us to trust each other.
All right, Chris. You have a good night.
All right, peace.
All right, now. All right, chat, man. We finna get up out of here, man. I can't even see the chat. Yeah, we finna. You said you did not call, Carlos. I'm looking right now at my calls. I do not have a call from you. Only calls I got was from Dorsey and him. Oh, this might be you right here.
Yeah, see, I did call.
What did you do, Carlos?
See? Nah, shit, chillin'.
How you feeling about it, man? How you feeling about tonight's topic?
It's all a big mess. The page is 57. I don't know if you found it. Page 57, section 4121.
2141?
4121.
4121. I didn't see that on page 57. On page 57, I seen the healthcare, what I read about the permanent extension.
The permanent extension refers to legal immigrants.
Correct.
They would continue to get qualifications.
Yeah, no, I know what it is. I know it's a talking point. Like, I'm not debating that it's a talking point, but when Democrats say that illegal aliens don't get health care, is fundamentally wrong because of those certain situations. Because Democrats would be like, illegal aliens don't get free health care. Well, only if this happens. Okay, we'll just say, well, then they kind of do. But yeah, the Republicans are using that as a talking point because it's...
well, they also pay $100 billion in taxes a year. I mean, almost any statistic you look at, illegal immigrants create a net positive in this country. I mean, that's just a fact.
I'm not debating that. I just understand that, like, shit is. That just be my thing, is when they say it's not happening, it's like, okay, it is happening. Is it rare circumstances? Yes. Yes, it is. But
it's not happening. Let's talk about the details. The details are that they get tax credits. They don't get tax credits. Yes, they could get emergency Medicaid at it's life and death, but they won't get tax credits on it.
Okay.
Because that's the thing. They're saying that they qualify for tax credits under Obamacare. No, they don't. Any way you want to spin it, it's a false statement.
Okay. Well, maybe you should
I mean, there's a difference between a credit and a emergency act or whatever.
Correct, but both of them fall under free health care.
No.
How does a free emergency visit not fall under free health care?
No, because they say they get a tax credit. I mean, we're going to speak details. Let's speak details. Mike Johnson was on there saying that they're trying to give them access to tax credits, subsidies.
If we go, okay, and if we're going to speak details, they asked Hakeem Jeffries point blank about the crazy spending over there for those crazy research things, and he deflected the question.
What do you mean that crazy research thing?
Man, they asked him, they said the Republicans are saying y'all have $1.4 trillion in this spending bill. Some of it's going for research in this country for LGBTQ. Some of it's going for research in that country for that. And Hakeem Jeffries kept cutting his eyes to somebody in the crowd like he was pissed that they asked him that. And then
that's been throughout history.
But what I'm saying is he deflected the question.
But let's talk about also how we give Colombia about $700 million a year.
I get that.
Let's talk about
Carlos. I'm not here to debate that right now. What I'm saying is, when we're talking about the leaders, you said Mike Johnson was lying about that, and I said, okay, well, they gave Hakeem Jeffries a chance to clear that up and clear up some other stuff. One of the questions, he kind of did clear up the health care. He didn't really clear it up. He just said, we want to get health care to American citizens. But when they gave him a chance to clear up the crazy shit, the shit that everybody's, up in arms about, all of this spending, no American wants to hear that their money's going to do whatever research there. Hakeem Jeffries just didn't say nothing. He just, deflected the question. So it is some crazy spending in there. That's my take.
Oh, there is crazy spending, but I think that's a both side thing. I think those same spendings were going on when Trump was in office. I mean, we can't really talk about the crazy spending because, both parties are guilty about that shit. And I agree, Hakeem Jeffries should have gave a straight answer instead of a bullshit answer that he gave, but if we're going to be honest, both parties do that. Both parties give out crazy spending. Also, the Republicans want to talk about Biden's kid. Barron just made like $80 million when crypto crashed the other day?
Allegedly. I don't think have they confirmed that on the blockchain?
I think it's been confirmed.
Well, yeah, I heard allegedly he's worth 150 million right now.
He made $80 million when everybody else lost their ass.
Yeah, somebody else made 180 million, and he finna be on the board of TikTok.
So then we go to the ballroom. These people get in for their donations.
Yeah, and then he's suing
So-called
the
donations.
DOJ, and I'm not gonna lie, when Mike Johnson was like, yeah, Trump's gonna donate that to charity, which he probably will, you know what I'm saying, which I don't doubt, but we not gonna act like that's not gonna be a tax write-off. Like shit, he gonna owe that $230.
It's crazy that he is the one to determine. He said on the news the other day. He is the one legally able to determine how much the government is going to give him.
Enough
Do
to
we
cover his
not see a
taxes.
conflict of interest with that?
Yeah, enough to cover his tax bill.
I agree. Illegal immigrants shouldn't get health care, shouldn't get tax subsidies, shouldn't get all that stuff. But they're not. As far as the whole California driver license thing, I actually researched the hell out of that story about the no-name licenses. And there's one case that has been verified. And it's a play on his name because he's from another country. And it's just the way his name is spelled or something like that. But in America, it comes out to no name.
Oh no, I'm looking at like 3-4 of them things, man. I'm looking at quite a few of them right here. I guess.
Why don't we give them licenses? I mean, if they're here, why not give them a license so they can pay insurance for shit like that doesn't happen?
I think because they're not supposed to be here.
But they're here.
I mean, shit. I think it's kind of like a global thing. Like, I don't think there's any country I can just show up in, you know what I'm saying? Like, look, I'm here, boy.
Most countries you can.
Huh?
Vietnam, Philippines, all those countries you could go get a license.
Yeah,
As a tourist.
but we naming these aren't. How can I put it?
Third world countries.
They're not third world. They're above third world, but they damn near. Might as damn near third world.
Yeah, but even like Australia, I think gives, if I'm not mistaken, Australia
Hell nah,
gives licenses.
Hell nah, man.
They'll
Australia.
get temporary licenses.
Australia ain't fucking around, probably. I got the camera off transparency because we finna end this. I'm chopping it over Carlos, and then I'm finna go to sleep. But yeah,
There's
okay.
a lot of things that are ironic lately.
You said what?
There's a lot of things that seem real ironic lately.
Go ahead. Let's talk about it.
You know, Mike Johnson. I'm not a fan of Hakeem Jeffries. I think he's one of the lot more outspoken Democrats right now, but I don't think he has that pull with the Democratic Party. So he is one of the ranking members of the Democratic Party. About violence on the Democratic side, when it shows, you see almost every single stat where 60 to 70% of the violence comes from the far right.
Yeah, a lot
I mean, these are all stats that can be seen. Trump now wants to say if you smoke weed, you can't have a weapon.
Got me fucked up. I think that's only in Texas, though. I think that was a Texas case.
He's trying to get it to go to the Supreme Court. Trying to get the Supreme Court to rule on it.
I ain't gonna lie. He gonna lose a lot. He gonna lose a lot of veterans with that one.
He was supposedly the one for gun rights, but now
he gonna lose a lot of veterans with that one. Maybe the NRA ain't paying like APEC. Maybe the NRA not paying like APEC.
A lot of things that he ran on are them not swearing in the Democratic candidate. I mean, they're being sued for it now. I'll not swear her in. They swore in 2 Republicans from Florida when the House was in recess. But she would be the deciding vote on the Epstein files. She already said she was going to vote to release him. So they have Marjorie Taylor Greene, one of the biggest Trump supporters out there, looking out against him.
Yeah,
that's when you know shit's go bad.
I've been seeing her and Thomas Massey.
Some of the biggest Trump supporters, and they are turning. She has said this is a Republican shutdown. Supposedly a mandate election where the Republicans sweep and get the power and the people wanted them. Well, rule number one in any type of negotiation.
It's both parties shut down. It's not a Republican shutdown. It's not a Democrat shutdown. It's a Capitol shutdown. It's a Senate shutdown, man.
I see it as a White House shutdown.
Man, probably because did you see what Bernie Sanders said about them not taking paychecks?
Yeah.
Talking about this.
They're gonna take their checks.
Yeah, talking about there's some young people here and they have bills and shit. What about the people who not getting fucking paid? What about the soldiers?
Didn't the Republicans?
Then they talking about Elon gonna end up paying the soldiers if they can't divert the money. Elon gonna pay the soldiers. I keep telling y'all.
Why didn't the Republicans vote to pay the soldiers?
Listen, Elon, the soldiers do need to be paid. So I'm not faulting Elon for stepping up and offering to pay the soldiers. I'm not at all. But it takes me back to that clip to where Elon said he's not the most powerful man in the world because he don't got a militia. He don't got mercenaries. Now he's talking about shit, paying $10 billion to cover the salaries.
I don't think you could do that legally.
Shit. I think he
I
can.
forgot the name of the law is that a public citizen cannot fund.
I didn't think. Shit, they said and they didn't even say it. I seen it. JD Vance just was talking about how Jared Kushner is the investor to the deal to the deal over there in the Middle East.
Yeah, that's been known.
Is that legal?
Because technically it's not government property in the U.S.
Oh, good.
But a private entity, a private citizen supposedly can't fund a government.
I mean, we got private money. We got private money funding the White House renovations right now.
And that's about to be taken to court.
Mm-hmm.
They're already talking about how that's going against law where it says the government can't accept gifts. But there's a law that says the government can't accept gifts from people.
But what I think is gonna be is that how they're gonna get around it is that the money's gonna be coming from a corporation. Because these billionaires.
Well, it wouldn't matter though. Legally, it wouldn't matter. Corporation or private person, it still wouldn't matter because the government's not supposed to be able to accept gifts from anybody or any entity. Just like when the president goes overseas and the president from another country, or that was a big issue with the plane. They're not supposed to be able to receive gifts. It has to be inventoried and put away, basically. But the government can't use it.
That's what it is. Nah, they can do it. See, I just looked it up. Government entities can receive funding from private sources through various mechanisms. One common method is public-private partnership, where private companies shoulder the financial burden of infrastructure projects, such as bridges, tunnels, and highways, often through upfront payments. Because
that would be in the interest of the public, not in the interest of Trump in the ballroom.
In some cases, government issues tax credits to private investors to subsidize project costs, which incentivizes.
I mean, I know there's supposedly Senate lawyers saying that they're gonna fight it.
Well, I mean, I just remember that I was looking it up the other day for something, and it kind of was funny to me that that is going on. Government's getting private money, and that's how I knew it was been going on. But yeah, it says some cases government issues tax credit to private investors to subsidize project costs, which incentivizes private investment in areas like economic redevelopment, affordable housing, and healthcare. These arrangements, it's healthcare I was looking at the other day. These arrangements allow governments to access private capital without immediate budgetary outlays. Another approach is third-party financing, where private parties fund federal infrastructure projects like military housing or government office buildings through long-term federal commitments to use facilities or service. This method allows agencies to raise capital in private markets though it often results in higher overall project costs.
When cities pay for stadiums or shit like that too.
Yeah. But yeah, Carlos, we finna get up out of here, man. I gotta get up in the morning and be a dad. Alright now, man. I'll see you on the next one. Appreciate you for calling in too. Alright, Chad, we finna get up out of here, man. Yeah, I gotta head to bed. I do gotta wake up in the morning, man, and be a dad, man. Y'all see, that's the Twitter right there. Y'all go subscribe to the Twitter, man. Follow me on X, and we finna get a little bit more active. And I'll see y'all on the next one, Chad.